How electrifying.
7 3-pointers. It's that kind of week.
What's going on here? That's how dominant they played.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Do the honors.
we've changed our name to No Rules, Just Sports.
Yo, yo, yo.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, what is happening? It is Tuesday night. It is your favorite sports podcast. We like to think it's the best sports podcast in the. This is No Rules, Just Sports. We got your boys here. We got E up top. We got Coach Saul, King Roosa back again for yet another week, and your boys Matty Ice. Gentlemen, happy Tuesday and happy Thanksgiving, guys. I'm so thankful. You know what? I'm thankful for you guys. I'm thankful for this show. And you know what? I'm thankful for the community we have here that we've built thus far. So I'm very thankful for that, guys.
Yeah, no, man. I'm so excited to be here. I'm thankful for a lot of things, man. It's been a crazy week in sports. A lot to talk about, a lot to go over. We're starting a little early today, but it's gonna be even earlier next week. I think we're gonna go to 7 p.m. because we got a lot of stuff to cover. We cover a lot of sports. Do we always get it right? No, but hey, it's just our opinions, man. How y'all feeling? I mean, I'm blessed, man. It's gonna be a great Thanksgiving. I got a Friendsgiving going on at my crib. I got about 30 people showing up to my apartment, so it's about to be
Wow.
nutty.
That's crazy.
A lot of people in an apartment.
That's crazy. Hopefully you don't get any noise complaints.
I don't care.
You know, I'm thankful. I'm thankful for you guys as well. I'm thankful for all the Bills fans helping our algorithm out over on YouTube.
Thank you, Bills Mafia.
Shout out Bills Mafia.
Getting in their feelings and shit over a thing. God damn, imagine.
God damn.
But,
Absolutely.
Just I'm thankful for them, you know?
Absolutely.
How about you, Demi? How about you?
Oh man, pretty much the same, guys. Like I'm thankful, obviously, for the opportunity to be here every week so far. So it's been awesome. I will be at that Friendsgiving on Friday.
It's gonna be a hot one.
I'm jealous. I want to go,
dude. Let me tell you something. It's to work. Me and my wife are cooking 2 turkeys, 2 pernil. Right, that's a Puerto Rican dish. It's pork shoulder, right, marinated in just absolute deliciousness. I mean, we're just. I'm more excited about the pernil versus the turkey, but I do love me some turkey. Are you guys a white or dark meat? Let's go around the table real quick.
dark.
White meat.
Dark.
White. But I like the skin.
I'm going dark, dude. White is so dry.
That's what I
So
just said.
Yeah,
White is dry as fuck.
So 2 white and 2 dark. Okay.
We don't have to do that.
Damn.
Hey, come on, bro. Come on. We got this.
Whoa.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a little easier than mine.
If you in the chat, man, let us know if you guys what you guys like, white or the dark meat on the turkey. I mean,
All of it sounds good, right,
let
Daniel?
us know.
Has to be. Come on, white meat. Let's be real.
Oh, okay.
Let's be real.
It's not. It's dry.
Oh,
Dry as fuck.
this is not what we're debating today.
It's
So much stuff more to debate. All right, here's one for you guys. What is your favorite side dish besides turkey or a penne?
Mac and cheese, baby.
I was about to
Mashed
say mac
potatoes.
and cheese. Come on, bro. Mashed potatoes. That's so
Mashed potatoes
That's
every
so
time.
yesterday, bro.
No.
Every- Every dish. Outside of Thanksgiving and everything.
Okay, but here's the thing.
I gotta go with him.
It's not hard to like mess up mashed potatoes. You mash the potato, you put some salt in it, and you kiss it off goodbye and you use the gravy from the turkey. Mac and cheese made right, a baked mac and cheese. Oh my god.
I'm lactose intolerant, so I can't really eat that.
I'm eating the whole pan.
I agree. I love mac
I'm
and
eating
cheese.
shit anyway. I don't give a fuck. Stomach hurt or not. Lactose intolerant. I'm stomach hurting. I don't give a shit. I'm eating every bit of that mac
You're about
and
to have
cheese.
World War III in your stomach,
Yeah.
in your bowels.
Oh,
Low key though, the older I get, green bean casserole actually kind of hits a lot. It does.
Nah, you
Yes.
lost
Oh, I know.
not-
Absolutely.
Lost
Hey,
me
shout
there.
out my mom. My mom makes some of the best green bean casserole you'll ever put in your mouth.
That's some white people stuff. I don't.
Damn. Okay.
I don't partake in that.
That's some white people shit.
What you mean? Oh, here we go, man. I would never.
Here we go.
What green bean casserole was never a dish on my Puerto Rican Thanksgiving.
We literally tried it last week, and you were like, "Oh, no."
I said it's not bad, but it's not. It's not like I'm gonna go after that. Like that's the one thing I want.
I wanted it before, but then I tried it, and it was.
It's all right.
Can't leave it out.
All right, let's get into it. What do we got, Matty Ice?
Yeah, we're gonna hit some coming up on the show here. We're gonna hit some NBA, and then after that, we're gonna talk about NHL. We're gonna quickly hit the NHL. Not too much to highlight this week, and then after that, we'll hit some college football. A lot of big upsets this week, and then after that, we'll hit the bread and butter, the NFL. Lots of good stuff happened in the NFL this week. So, boys, let's take it away.
Drew's got my back. I appreciate you, dog.
Hey, another fire transition by E. Shout out E.
So good. So good every time.
So good.
Who did I take last week? East or West? You got to take the East, man.
Hey, Q, how you doing, bro? Good to see you, man.
You did West because of Paolo.
You got to take the East.
I'll take the East here, man. So the East, man, what we got going on, man? Top 3 in the East, man. We'll give an honorable mention to the top 5, but the top 3 teams right now battling it out, man. Cleveland Cavaliers, man, they're 17-1. They lost that game to the Celtics and have not looked back, ladies and gentlemen. Another team up there, rightfully so, they're still playing like the champions they are, man, is the Celtics with a 15-3 record right now. You can't complain there. But the team to be the most shocking in the top 5, I would say even in the top 5, maybe even top 7, is my Orlando Magic, man. They are playing amazing ball. They lose one to the Clippers, go on a 4-game win streak again. I mean, they're sitting at 12-7. They're playing really good basketball. We'll get into them in a minute.
Yeah, then you got to say that, but I also, are you saying like most shocking across the board or just in the East?
No, I think across the board it would be for me.
I think there's one team in the West that's a little bit more shocking of why they're there, because I really don't have a reason yet. But
well, I mean, I'm talking about my team because star players are out, and players that haven't realistically been playing good basketball and that are young are all of a sudden turning into like superstars. Right in front of our eyes. Like, it's fucking awesome. Like, it's really cool basketball to watch.
Let's save it because I have a really, really good point to make during the Magic talk.
He's got some gravy.
At 4, the Knicks at 10-7, and then at 5, the Heat at 7-7. So, got some good basketball, man. It's getting exciting. I love watching. If I miss a game, I go back and watch the highlights, man. I love watching the Magic highlights, man. The defense is always in the top highlights of something. Good steals, transition basketball. All right, let's save it for the Magic segment.
Please do.
Yeah.
I do want to talk about the East real quick. The Bucks, those Bucks that we were talking about in the first or second week, how low they were. They're 6th right now, 8-9. Coming back. They're back in contention. Wizards are now the dead last team in not only the East but in the NBA. 2 for 13.
Shout out to the Utah Jazz.
And then those terrible Sixers that we were talking about last week have won 1 game since then. They're 3.
I want to, listen, 76ers fans, man, get in here, talk to us, man. Get in here, please talk to us. We're not trying to trash them. I'm not watching 76er games. I'm just not. I don't have enough time in my day. I have a full-blown profession. I have children. I coach football. Like, I have too much stuff going on in my life. Why? Maybe I just need to do a week where I just dive into them and see what's going on. What is going on with the 76ers? On paper, that team should be in the top 5.
Maybe we should talk about it next week and really try to
do a little dive in it. All right, I feel that.
That'll be the focus next week.
I'm in agreement. Like I have no idea why you guys are so bad. Is it just injuries and like timing? Is it too early to say you're bad? Because 3 for 13, I mean, you played damn near 20 games and you're horrible. So I don't know. Let's move to the West. The Warriors are now in the second spot because the Thunder have reclaimed that first spot, 13-4.
They're playing great ball. They're playing
They are
really
just-
hot ball.
They're the Orlando Magic of the West.
Ooh. Okay.
The
Good
Warriors are in second, 12-5. They're only one loss behind the Thunder and 1 win away. The most shocking to me is not the Magic. It is the Rockets that are 12-6 and third in the West. That's a shocker. And right behind them is obviously the Lakers. Lakers are 10-6. I mean, there's no reason to panic. It's just like they could be even better. Thoughts? I have some notes about the rest of the West, but
For sure. Hey, Bill, how you doing? I see you in the chat there. We appreciate you, Bill.
No, I agree. I didn't even. Yeah, the Rockets. That's definitely a surprising one to me, especially looking at that roster. Probably playing just really good basketball again. It's one of those teams I haven't really watched, so it's definitely somebody we should probably take a little dive into and really read into them and see what's going on, because that is very interesting. Being in the top 3 right now, and I get it, it's early basketball, but hey, man, we're talking about it here, and it's interesting and seeing how everything's shaking up. And I mean, Pelicans at dead last is no surprise.
yeah, that was one of the things I wanted to talk about. The Pelicans are dead last. They are 4-14. Like again,
So I did see that. That's a very hot take right now. Do you all think that it's time for the Pelicans to move on from Zion?
Probably.
Or is it Zion? Is it time for Zion to move away from the Pelicans? Because what have the Pelicans done to help him?
Nothing.
Well, I mean, I think about the last couple of seasons where I don't know if it's 100% true, but of course everybody heard about it, the weight clause in Zion's contract, and I mean it's like he goes through the off season and he gets really fit, and then the season starts and he's back to that shape that you're just like, he's still explosive and he's still great, but is he able to play 48 minutes? No. Is his body perfectly healthy every season? No. So
I'll never forget watching that college game where he exploded out of his sneakers. Insane.
Yeah, well, he's a freak.
Remember that I still remember that 360 dunk he had at Duke, and it was just insane.
Yeah. He was explosive in college. I don't know what happened to him.
Under Mike Krzyzewski, he was beast mode.
He's still explosive. That's the thing. It's just
can't stay healthy.
I mean, the Pelicans are not going to do anything special for him if we're being real. The Pelicans didn't do anything special for Anthony Davis when he was there.
Mm-hmm.
That's why he went to the Lakers.
So with that being said, where can you see a potential landing spot for him?
Oh, that's such a huge thought.
It is a huge thought, because how much money is he worth, right? Because now you got to start thinking about how much are these teams willing to pay for a guy that's, I'm not saying that he's played bad, but he hasn't played great basketball. His weight is the issue, like Damian says. His consistency to stay on the court is another issue. So do you overpay for somebody like that? Do you give him a test contract, like a year contract, like the NFL does?
He just signed a 5-year deal last year for 197.2.
Yeah, no, they're screwed.
Taking on a huge cap if he goes anywhere.
It's because the Pelicans can't really hold a gun to him. I mean, what are they going to tell him? Like, we don't want to? For what? Then you have nothing. Zero, zilch. Like, you can't go anywhere. And it's not like you're doing special now, but you really won't be special after.
Yeah.
Like, I just don't see a landing spot where you get something so significant that it makes a change.
Yeah, and speaking of, it looks like he's not anywhere near returning to gameplay. He's gonna be out another maybe 4 or 5 weeks to the Magic. Could you imagine if that was the case? Mark my words. If he came to Orlando, I would buy season tickets immediately.
That would be interesting.
Magic.
You did that really well, buddy.
Yeah, that was really good, actually.
I hope
talk
you
about
have that
these
ready for our
Timberwolves.
segment. That should be the official start of the Magic segment.
I agree. Actually, in my notes, the segment is called Orlando Magic. Orlando Magic. Like,
with the
it's just in my
little
head.
notes.
I was like, just in my head. Timberwolves, number 11th in the West, 8-8. What the hell happened?
Right.
You know, I watched the whole breakdown of that. They were talking like it's their locker room is in shambles. Like they
Is
are
it?
arguing on the court. There
Well,
was a blatant time where I can't remember the two players. I want to say Randall was involved, but I can't remember who had the rock. But they blatantly ignored him. Like he was wide open underneath the basket. And he just didn't. And they even talked about it after the game was over. And they were like, yeah, we squashed it now. But they were literally having a beef in the middle of a fucking game. It's just something's
It's not
that
good.
like you had Ant yelling at well, what's the center's name?
Gobert. Can't
They
stand him.
were going back and forth because he literally stood in the paint for 3 seconds and was just moving too slow and got the call.
Oh,
So
yeah, I
Ant
saw
was
that.
yelling at him.
Because he got mad
In
because
the-
he didn't get
yeah.
the ball. Yep.
Yeah, so they're literally arguing, walking down the court in the middle of the game.
No,
So there's just
seriously.
it's a lot of locker
Facts.
room, like the chemistry's bad. And they were also talking about their defense year over year because they couldn't keep some of their people. Their defense year over year is a lot more points,
Let's see
and
what
that
we
was the
got.
one thing that held them there.
Shout out to the Wizards, bro. They're about to be with another loss. Current game playing right now. Bulls versus the Wizards.
Let's
Bulls
go,
are winning
Wizards.
61-40. Bulls are winning
Let's go.
61-47 in the start of the third quarter. Bucks are playing the Heat. They're currently beating the Heat 30-18. It's just about the end of the first quarter, so got some basketball going on. I'll keep you guys updated throughout the night.
Man, at least you know what? At least DC has the Capitals playing good right now.
Hey, yeah, we got the Ravens. Come on now, we got the Commanders. We got some good things going on in Maryland.
Commanders? Really?
They're still better than the Cowboys.
Really?
One
I
loss.
know that. Okay,
They
I
win.
know
They win a
that.
fucking game, and now he's
Yeah.
hey,
Now he's
whoa! Time out.
I am
Time out.
over here.
I'm still have my head dangling, but you know what? We'll get into it. We'll save it for later. Save it for our NFL.
Keep that head dingling.
Save it.
I do want to talk about the Suns, the Nuggets, the Mavericks, the Spurs in that order. 7, 8, 9, 10. They are all. If the season ended today, they are all in the play-in tournament.
Yeah,
Wow.
looking at the middle of that like pack of the West, there's just a huge clump right there.
It is.
It's
West
literally
is
just a
kinda
huge clump.
It's a little sporadic right now. I mean, the East is exactly what you expected.
Right. It's more
Besides the
predictable.
Magic being so good, like the Magic are probably the anomaly in the East. But I mean, wow, Suns, Nuggets, those are really surprising to be middle tier teams.
I wouldn't say. Would you want them higher? Is what you're trying to say?
The Nuggets,
especially the Nuggets.
essentially.
I think the Nuggets should be higher, but you also got to remember their KD list, the Suns.
I know, and well, they get them back tonight. Actually, funny enough, they're playing the Lakers. KD and Bradley Beal are coming back tonight.
So we'll see
Wow.
where they're at then at that
Yes.
point. But it just goes to show once you're down big players, can they compete? Not like my Orlando Magic.
He had to
Get
throw
into
that
that,
in there.
man. We'll get
He
into
had
it.
to throw that in there.
I had to throw it in.
He said
But
But
right
I
in there.
will say that doing the research about the Nuggets and stuff, they obviously lost some key components. They haven't been able to keep their players since their championship run.
True.
But at the same time, though, it's like you have two stars that should be still carrying the weight, and obviously one is, but the other one's not doing anything.
Well, yeah, Jokic just came back from having a baby, so congratulations to him.
Mm-hmm.
And let's be real here. Jamal Murray has never been the type of player to play like a really, really like notable,
Superstar.
noteworthy season.
Right.
It's when the playoffs come around that he turns into this different animal altogether. So I don't think if you're a Nuggets fan, you really panic at this point. But like, it is a little strange to see them in the 8th spot. Yeah, you would expect them to be top 5, especially how good they've been. They have the Lakers number, that's for damn sure. The Lakers cannot beat them to save their life. It's a little shocking, a little surprising.
For sure. Well, it's still early. Like we always say, it's still pretty early right now.
This is very early.
Lots of basketball to be played.
First 20-game look right now.
Absolutely. You know what I'm looking forward to? I want to look at the Christmas slate. I don't know. Is there going to be a big Christmas? Yeah, there's a big Christmas slate. I always look forward to watching basketball on Christmas. Even though we have 2 NFL games this year, I always look forward to watching some basketball on Christmas.
Yeah,
it's always a special game.
It's going to be on Netflix, so it'll take about 5 hours to watch one game.
Got that right. Jesus Christ.
Are we all good with the team standings?
Yeah.
Makes sense right now. I mean, like you said, shout out to the Magic. They're just playing hot ball without Wendell, without Paolo right now.
Paolo.
It's true.
Paolo.
Well, I would like to. Do you want to jump into the Magic, or can I talk about a young star right now?
Go for it, young star.
Let's talk about LaMelo Ball.
Let's go ahead.
Now let me read you these numbers, and then I'll give you some things behind it. The last 3 games for LaMelo Ball. His last game was versus the Magic. They lost. 44 points, 9 rebounds, 7 assists on 17 of 30 shooting. Versus the Bucks, he had 50 points, 5 rebounds, 10 assists on 17 of 38 shooting. And they lost. Versus the Pistons, he had 35 points, 6 rebounds, 9 assists, 12 of 27 shooting. They won that game in overtime. LaMelo's phenomenal right now. Right?
I saw him hit a step back jumper 3, and that shit was beautiful.
Yeah. Did I send you? I think I sent you that clip. Yeah.
You might have. Yeah. Yep.
LaMelo has Patazzi on him. What was that? Are you kidding me? Play that the way they wanted to.
Look at this, LaMelo. Look at the dance right here. Patazzi's like, okay, will you shoot?
What a crafty move.
That was disgusting.
Full body fake without the ball in your hand is crazy.
No, that was beautiful.
You know what I like is he's got some pretty fire kicks.
That is true too. But I mean, the man is hooping on the season. He's got 31 points, 5.1 rebounds, 6.9 assists. The problem is, like, the Hornets are 12th.
The Hornets.
The Hornets are 12th in the Eastern Conference. They're 6 for 11.
He's with the Hornets. That's the problem. It's unfortunate.
They're 24th in points per game. They're 5th in rebounds per game, which is phenomenal, by the way. How does that happen? 27th in assists per game, and 19th in opponents' points per game.
Not good stats. Like,
for me, it's just like I look at the roster and I don't see depth. I don't see like crazy depth. No truly notable names. The team is young. LaMelo is 23 years old, and he is leading this team. Guys, what do they do? What do they do to help this man who's right now he's on a tear?
Is he still on his rookie contract, or did he get a bag already?
I don't.
LaMelo's 23, so he's probably on his rookie contract still.
And yeah, because he would still be 4 years in. He's in his 4th season.
Yeah.
So the problem is are the Hornets going to do anything for him? Like, it's cool. You can put up all these numbers and you can do all this stuff. Are they going to do anything for him, or does he need to leave in order to chase that covenant ring? Because are the Hornets going to be the next Pelicans?
Should we ask the owner of the Hornets?
Yes. Get him on the phone.
Do you know who it is?
Yes, I know who it is.
Okay. So what is that guy going to do to help this young star? Or does he need to leave? Go somewhere else?
Like, why'd you hold on, I want to ask a question. Why do you ask like that?
I just want to be an asshole.
Why'd you ask like that? Like it's his fault. You know what I'm
I just want to
saying?
be an asshole.
He got a great piece. He got a great piece.
No, he did. It's a great pick.
It's like a gem right there. I don't think he's gonna let it go that easy.
But you have to get these rest of these pieces in line. Like you got to get him some help because this kid, he is hooping. I don't mind him taking 30 shots a game, but should he have to? Absolutely not.
His arm be hurting after.
I mean, to score 50, he shot 38. And then the next game, he shoots another 30. Like, he shouldn't have to take so many shots. That's why his points are so high, because he's the only one out there scoring.
Right.
Are they drawing big crowds?
Probably not.
Yeah.
Not at a Hornets game.
They were on a 4-win game. They were on a 4-game home win streak. Now, it wasn't in a row, obviously, but every time they've played at home, they've won for 4 games. They've won 4 games in a row until they played us.
Yeah.
So let's get into the Orlando Magic.
Let's talk about the Orlando
Good transition.
Magic.
Orlando Magic.
Hello, we still love you.
Let's talk about the Orlando Magic, man. Cue the music. Orlando Magic.
Orlando Magic. Orlando Magic.
All right. Nah, man. So since our last episode, man, we have gone 3-1. We lost to the Clippers, but we beat the Lakers, Pistons, and Hornets. A good Lakers team that was
That Lakers
on
game,
there.
finish was
a decent Pistons team. You know, not a team that we talk about a lot, but they put up a fight. Everybody they play. I mean, the Pistons are sitting at 9 right now, but that's because of the loss they took to us, and but they played really good ball. And then a streaky Hornets team. And people can say what they want, man.
love the phone call.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. You know,
Hey, shout out Coach's wife.
we're about to start our acapella group. We're gonna be called "Fuck the Pentatonics."
We should just be called the Orlando Magic.
Yeah.
No, I like you got to give credit to the Magic. Beating the Lakers was obviously. It's not an upset because like the Orlando Magic are that good. Like they're
that team right now.
The team's in check. It's great. Detroit's not, like you said, they're middle class, but they're not a bad team. They're good at keeping teams in check as well. They kind of give them a hassle. They usually end up losing, but they give them a hassle. And then the Hornets. I mean, LaMelo, like I just said, 40,
yeah,
but the only one out there doing something.
Yeah.
So
you sleep on them, they'll beat you. You know.
Absolutely.
I think you should play that clip real quick. Just to
whoa.
play the last minute of that Laker game was insane. It was insane. It's no shot to my boy down here. It's just it was an insane last that is the definition of never giving up. That is the definition of never quitting. That is the definition of keep going until the bell hits 0. Till the ringer hits 0, till the clock hit, to the ringer,
buzzer,
whatever you want to call it.
Buzzer.
Well, I know that. I'm just saying there's just so many terms that you can use.
The ringer.
But until it hits 00, you play. And roll that clip.
Can't do it. They'll bat it away, but right into the hands of Austin Reeves. He'll get it. 1 of 2 at the line for Jalen. Everybody stands. Final minute. Can the Magic get another stop? Isaac defending LeBron James. Anthony Davis. Back to LeBron. Shot clock down to 5. Bataze on James. James drives. Poked away. Falls to the floor. And 2 free throws coming for LeBron.
They're going to call the foul on Jonathan Isaac.
Therefore, the coach's challenge is unsuccessful. Orlando will lose their timeout.
Last night against the
Now
Clippers.
still with 17 turnovers. You get your miss. He's 1 of 3 at the line. Make it 2 of 4. He'll get it into Franz Wagner. Looking for help. Trying to get a little room. Step back 3 is up. Oh, it's right on line, but he couldn't hit it. Fought for by Suggs. Out of bounds on the Magic.
MVP chance a little bit.
First free throw is up. No good. Back rim. Lakers with 2. Second free throw is up. That one in. Gotta get a basket. Franz Wagner, he'll get you two. It's a 2-point game. 20 seconds to go. And it's time the Magic get a steal. High up top to Davis. He lost his footing. First one is up. Rims out. Second free throw up, back rim. Magic get the rebound. They can tie or win the game.
Go for the win. Go for the win, Franz Wagner.
On the road, go for the W. Let's see, Franz Wagner surveys the landscape. Looking for help. Shot clock down to 5. He's going to go for the win. Shot is up. Going to be good. Franz Wagner, fantastic. Anthony Davis, turnaround jumper is up and no good, and that'll do it.
Shoo-wee.
All right, let's talk about this real quick. First of all, LeBron should have never drove in. LeBron didn't need to drive in. At that point, hold it for that final second and just take a three. Let the ball bounce on the rim. Anthony Davis go grab it. Then you can reset the shot clock instead of going in there. And it's not even a bad move. I don't mind you going to the bucket and getting 2 free throws. But if you're going to miss one and make the other, and then all the opportunities Anthony Davis just fucking had and blew all of them.
Crazy.
And then he's the one who takes the final shot.
Anthony Davis, the foul on Anthony Davis where who was it? Suggs was in front of him going in for the rebound. How did Suggs get called for a rebound when he was in front of him going for the rebound? Makes no sense. No sense. But no, nevertheless, man, Franz Wagner, man. God dang, bro. Just the delicate touch that he has for being 6'10", I think it is, and just playing the way he's playing, it is so awesome to watch, man. With the game being said, I'm going to talk about the last game we just played against the Hornets. It was not a pretty game. I watched the highlights. I watched some of the actual game. I watched up to the second quarter. It's just not. It wasn't pretty. It wasn't a pretty win, but man, we played it and we played it really well. Franz Wagner had 21 points. Cole Anthony had 16. Mo Wagner had 16. Anthony Black with 10, and Isaac with 11. My biggest concern with the team right now, honestly, it's Isaac. We paid him a lot of money, Jonathan Isaac. He's down from his points last year, his average. If I was going to highlight or circle somebody, it's him. Now, he sat in a corner and he made 4 3-pointers, which was beautiful. Mm-hmm. But he was 4 for 14.
Ugh.
Yikes.
4 for 14. So that if I was to go and be like, man, we just paid this kid $84 million. He got out of his rookie contract. He got $84 million. He is down in points right now. So that is my only big concern with the team. As far as other than that, man, I mean, you got Anthony Black, man. He's playing the ball. It's just he's fun to watch. He's flying around. He's that kid that's going to come from behind you and just tap the ball right out of you and then take it and run and score. Like he's just flying around the court so aggressive, and it's just and then at the end he has like this soft touch to just let the ball in. He's fun to watch, just like Franz Wagner. The team, I purely enjoy just watching them. You stop a Hornets team on a 4-game win streak at home. Not much else to say.
Can I give you a really interesting statistic? And this speaks volumes for how you've been preaching about your Magic team all year. Hear me out. 27th in points per game. All right?
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty bad. 24th in rebounds per game. Kind of rough.
Does it get better?
22nd in assists per game. Right? Now, if you take that surface level and you look at it, you're like, there's no way this team is third in the Eastern Conference. Right? They are first in opponents' points per game, which means they are the best team at keeping opponents under, well, the number is 102 points per game. that is why they're winning basketball games, because their defense, and you spoke
Defense,
about it
man.
all the time, and I got to give you props because that is literally statistically the reason they are winning.
Defense wins championships.
Yeah.
And that
Jinx.
is the exact note I have is defense wins championships.
Yep.
Hey, listen, and
Dude,
they're,
I mean,
they're
you
ranked.
can't
I don't
say
know if
it.
you said this. Sorry, my wife was behind the scenes there. They're ranked 3rd overall in total defense. Like it's an incredible defensive. It's an incredible defensive team. I mean, they kind of picked up from where they left off last year. It's not like this is a surprise. They were a very good defensive team last year as well. So that's what you get the exciting. Like I just get excited watching them because it just reminds me of like that old school nitty gritty basketball that I used to love watching so much. Not so many flops, not so many all this crazy stuff and all these crazy. I mean, don't get me wrong. We'd still shoot the ball like, at the 3-point line. Franz Wagner had missed a bunch in the beginning. I think he was like 0 for 4 from the 3-point line, and then he just picked up steam and just
He looked and he said,
But
I
to talk
understand it
about
now.
but to talk about the testament of defense, that was like the key points that I heard today listening to different shows and stuff, was talking about the Nuggets and the Wolves defense declining over the last 2 years, and that now these teams are struggling because their defense isn't doing as well and they're not able to outscore. That's the problem. So when your defense falls behind you, there's only one other option: outscore.
Well, it's because every year these teams, they take one player away that they think they don't need. Oh, okay. Well, we don't need so-and-so, and then we don't need him, and soon you're like, okay, you only kept your top 3 guys, and then the rest of your team is just like people who you think will fill that void, but they won't. They just don't work in that system. And that's literally the story here. I mean, the Wolves getting rid of Karl Anthony Towns, like, there is a conversation to be had about Gobert not being as good of a defensive player as everybody says he is. I mean, he's winning awards for it, but at the same time, his stats don't speak higher than some other players in the league. Anthony Davis was a better defender than him last year, and somehow I think Gobert still won Defensive Player of the Year.
I think we can all literally agree that the worst defensive player in the fucking NBA is Luka.
Okay, well, probably true. I mean, there's probably somebody worse, but the most notable name that's horrible is probably Luka. Yeah,
Luka.
Poor Luka. But I mean, when you're first and you're holding teams to 102 points, and then you're scoring 106 points per game, I mean, I don't know how more black and white that can get. The Magic are just going to be winning ball games as long as they keep that up.
Yeah. I love them. I love watching them play, man. I can't wait to go to a home game and get to watch them play, man. It's gonna be fun. Still got to figure it out, but like I said, we won't revisit that until after the holidays, man. Gotta spend a lot of money here in these next few couple of months. So, no, but it should be. So you look at hands down, easy. Next up for the Magic, I think it'll be a good test, and everybody's the Bulls, but they are now with Lonzo. He is coming back, finally back. See how well he plays after the wrist injury. Poor guy's been injury prone. It's been an injury disaster for him his whole career. I hate it because I like the ball boys. They're Dad not so much, but the boys themselves, yeah, I like them. So I hope he can put something together, man, but should be an interesting test. No, nevertheless, I think we should be able to win that soundly.
I think Orlando takes that pretty easily. I don't think the Bulls have enough firepower to outlast that Orlando Magic defense.
No, not at all.
Speaking of the Bulls, off topic, but did y'all see that stat about Chicago sports teams records this year?
Oh yeah, it's terrible.
God off. I mean, I would hate being a Chicago a sports fan right now.
Everything in Chicago is a dumpster fire. Not tonight though. The Bulls currently up 75-55 against the Wizards.
Well, they're playing the Wizards.
Y'all don't be disrespectful.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, don't piss off a whole fan base.
Hey, all I'm gonna say is going to games at Capital One Arena suck.
Yeah,
Everything's overpriced there. Everything is just like
Chicago Floridian.
Chicago Floridian.
Like a Floridian, but a Chicago Floridian.
Fair.
There is somebody that I want to talk about real quick. Coming back is seeing what the Lakers do against a Suns team, and it's tonight, so I might jump on that game and watch it. See what they can do with the Suns team that's restocked and ready to go, and they lose to these Suns. All of a sudden, they drop. They'll drop significantly. They can potentially drop to 7th place. The Lakers really quick, losing to these Suns. LeBron James, last game against Denver, struggled hard with 18 points. Only came out of the game with 18 points. I mean, he played 35 minutes. It wasn't like there was playtime was an issue.
It's
He
that
was on the
Denver,
court.
man. They're his kryptonite right now.
Out of the last 5 games, he's kind of been up and down a little bit, man. Spurs, he was at 15 points. Pelicans, he only scored 21. Utah 26. Then the Orlando Magic, he had 31. So there you go. There's back to normal LeBron-esque kind of thing. And then against Denver, 18. So can he have a good bounce back game after not doing so well against Denver? And like you said, it's his kryptonite.
For real, I I don't get it, but maybe it's the fact that Anthony Davis has to play a position that he's not accustomed to. I know the Lakers talked about it, I think this week or last week, how they want to get a true big man. And this is something that I talked about like a couple weeks ago.
Yep.
If they did that, how much pressure it would take off Anthony Davis and how much greater of a player he'd be. And he's already playing great.
Been his role the entire time he's been in the NBA?
No, because he was always a power forward,
He's a four.
especially when he was on the Pelicans, and he.
Okay. I didn't know what he was with the
He
Pelicans.
came into the league as a 4.
I knew he came into the league as a forward, but I thought because how he was playing center, like
they have no option. You have to. He's defensively, he's one of the greatest players, if not the greatest defensive player in the NBA in terms of rim protection. You have to use him as that 5 unless you have a solid 5. And one of the key components to the Lakers winning their last championship was the fact that they had Dwight Howard, which Dwight likes to call himself the Jokic stopper, which he did. He did really great of guarding Jokic, and that frees up Anthony Davis. When you take those two apart, now Anthony Davis can work separately, and it's like, well, who's going to hold Anthony Davis?
Right.
Yeah.
So if you have a guy like Dwight,
not many
able to
4s
grab
are going
rebounds.
to. Not many 4s are going to be able to go up against him like that.
Yeah. So should have just kept Dwight Howard.
No.
I would have. Even though,
Yeah.
Never.
No.
Never.
Let's not get into that one.
Never.
It's a whole can of worms.
What else you got, brother? I got my last little segment here about the next, you know what? Yeah. Okay. Is that it? Is that everything?
That's everything I got.
I just have the one.
Go ahead, man.
At the end. I'll do that at the end. Go ahead and do your thing.
No. You finish it because the last one's going to be a question for the community, realistically, and for y'all.
Well, I was just gonna get into the All-Star tournament and how you guys feel about it. Do you want to have the traditional All-Star game, or do you like the idea of having this tournament?
I love
Have
the
you guys done
traditional
any
game.
research?
I love the East versus West, and I've heard, and I forget exactly what their new idea was to have it like separated into like 4 teams or something like that. Listen, just keep it East and West. There just has to be some incentive to get these players to play. And if they're not going to play, then they don't need to be in the game. I'm sorry. LeBron James, as much as I want to see you in the All-Star game, if you're going to play 8 minutes, please just let somebody else play who wants to play more minutes. I don't know. You have to incentivize it better.
Now, see, I was watching this thing. They were talking about like the players back then. They might not have went in there playing like it's the game 7 and everything's on the line. But they went out there for bragging rights. They went out there to
Right.
play ball. They went out there and they still put 75, 80% effort into it. They
They
might
wanted
have
to
had
bust
some
each
fun,
other's
like they'll
asses.
do shit. But now everybody just stands around and it's either a dunk or a 3-point shot, and that's it.
I know.
I
You know, so-
like the new idea.
What is it again? Can you remind me? Because I forget if it was it was like 4
It was-
teams.
I'm pretty sure it's 4 teams played a 40.
Was it it's just like the captain's like the top player in that specific league or specific conference?
So I like it because it's going to draw more. In my opinion, it'll draw more of that competition edge. And they just got to have. I think they have to have a prize for the winner. They have to have a prize for the winner. They have to have something for them to want to win the game other than just the pride of their
A trophy.
conference.
So
So
they get a trophy, get an MVP. I thought there was a small money incentive, but maybe not. Give them a large
So
money
essentially,
incentive.
it's 2 semifinal games up to 40 points, winners advance. Then the finals game is only up to 25 points. Quick burst competition, pickup ball less style. So it's like a pickup game. It's like a glorified pickup game.
Okay.
I think that'd be fun to watch.
Now, it's funny that you all talk about the competition aspect of it and trying to find a way to incentivize them because that's what they feel like. That's the reason why players don't care about it anymore. They don't care because they don't come in there to try to compete against each other. They don't care about the bragging rights.
They don't
It's
want
a
to get
different
injured.
generation of players. Well, it's a different generation of players. They don't have that same competitive heart where it's
No.
more about I beat you, I did this to you. Those players nowadays don't have that same grit, and not only that, but because it is just dunks and 3-point shots like that, it's also lost the interest of the fans. They said that the All-Star games viewership has dropped, so they're doing
It
the
does surprise
tournament
me.
to not only bring back competition in the players, but to also bring interest from the fans. That's why they're doing multiple tournaments.
I love watching it. I do. I watch it every year. And I can completely understand why people don't find it interesting because it's like the same shit. But for me, I like seeing Stephen Curry take 50-point shots or 50 footers like on a consistent basis. You know, I love seeing LeBron get this wide open what is he gonna do now, or alley oop from him to Giannis or something like that. Like I love seeing that kind of stuff. But
Yeah, but
beyond
the
that,
problem
there's no defense.
is when they do it, it's just the whole game.
It's true.
Because that happened, back then, but it was like more sporadic and spontaneous. Now with the All-Star game, it's every fucking play. So it's just like,
It's true.
okay.
But what
So,
about the dunk contest? That
I
needs
like
to
the dunk.
change.
I like the dunk. No, I like how it is.
It's just been
it's
so
been
miserable.
terrible. It's been
So bad.
terrible.
Ever since Aaron Gordon and Zach LaVine stopped going,
Yeah.
horrible. By the way, Aaron Gordon, a Magic alumni, was robbed by far.
Oh yeah, in the dunk contest.
Yes, 100%.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Zach LaVine, that's no disrespect to you, but Aaron Gordon, between the legs over the mascot, was by far my favorite dunk of all time, even counting Vince Carter's crazy windmill. Still my favorite dunk of all time was Aaron Gordon's. But the dunk contest is just boring too. 3-point contest is honestly the most entertaining thing that happens during the weekend.
But you know what? I don't know what happened because even if you can jump over to the NFL, even like the All-Star weekend for that, it's just like.
But they compared it to that. They were saying even with the NFL, like the players got to the point where they, like you said, they didn't want to get hurt. They don't really compete to the point where they just said, "Fuck it, let's just do skill games."
Yeah,
and they're still like it's still like
to the point where it's like stupid. Like they do fucking dodgeball and stuff.
Oh, dodgeball is actually kind of like it's been cool to watch the last couple years.
No, if I want to watch dodgeball, I'll go watch dodgeball. I want to watch football
I
players.
literally-
Why would you
football
watch
skills.
dodgeball?
What?
Is there a place you could just watch dodgeball?
If you could dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball.
The movie.
I
Just
drink
watch
my own
it.
urine in the morning.
I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. I probably haven't watched the All-Star football weekend game week in fucking 8 years.
Yeah, it's been.
I'll be honest, I forgot they even had.
I don't watch.
Been a minute. It's been a minute.
So I mean, we still got to do it. It's here in Orlando.
I mean, it'd be cool.
No, we got to do it this year.
But I'll run this clip about Perkins talking about his reason why he thinks that the game has switched to this. And the reason why I'm playing it is because it ties into a lot of what we have said in previous episodes about the players being soft, about the mentality of players now. And I just thought it was a pretty interesting take by him.
Oh, yeah.
The problem with the league, and Adam Silver, in my opinion, is the best commissioner in sports. If anybody feel otherwise, we could debate that for another day. He has done everything in his power to make guys compete, right? You think about over the past 5 seasons, the problem is this. Let me say this. This generation of players are spoiled and soft, okay? Adam Silver in the NBA has put in the in-season tournament, they put in the play-in tournament, and now they're reconstructing the All-Star game, right? Because guys are not competing. And it is an indictment on all the players. It has nothing to do with the people that's in the front office at the NBA and Adam Silver. When you think about just this season alone, I done heard Jay Kidd call his players out early in the season in the press conference for not competing. I done heard J.J. Redick. He just called the Lakers out, said the spirit was there, the lack to compete was there. I done heard so many coaches call their players out about competing that it's a damn shame. So when you hear former players complaining, it's because they're disrespecting the former players that laid it out for the guys today to be getting paid $30, $40, $50, $60 million. And they're not doing what they're supposed to do so the next generation could get paid those type of dollars. This is why fans don't want to watch the NBA, because they know guys are not going to compete. One more thing. It's another thing why they got rules in place. 65 games you have to play in order to qualify for certain
MVP.
Yep,
certain
you're
awards,
right. Why do you have that? Because
NBA.
guys are sitting out. It's a problem, man. Guys are soft and spoiled.
I just thought everything that we have said, he summed it up in 2 minutes. They're fucking spoiled, they're soft, and nobody wants to compete.
Case
This is
closed.
the reason why viewership is down.
It's frustrating because when you make that point, right? Like when I made that point, because the dude literally listened to my take and he just copied it. no, but what I'm about to go sue his ass. No, I'm just kidding. When I made those same exact things, I was called, I don't know what I'm talking about, like people just jumping down my throat about it.
So
I'm just sitting there.
Play basketball in high school?
Right. Hey, are you a player? Did you play? Or do you know?
Are you in the NBA?
Right. It's just like it's just I watch, right? You just watch the game and you just see how the game has evolved to, and you just sit there and it's frustrating because you get these fans, these delusional fans. I'm gonna call y'all delusional when you don't think that the game is not the same.
It's not.
Look, it's not the same. There's no defense, and when I talk about Luka, and I don't mean to, he's just it's just a guy. Ladies and gentlemen, disclosure here. I'm just using him as an example because I saw something on him. He plays horrible defense. He doesn't even try. And if we had the clip, I hope you, please find a clip of him not playing defense, and you'll see it's not good. There's no effort there. There's no effort behind the defensive play. You lose that. So that's why I truly, 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 truly enjoy, and I hate going back to them. Not that I hate. I love going back to them. The Magic. It's fun basketball. It's guys that really care. It's guys that are giving maximum effort. But man, it's like you give a take, and because I don't have a fancy suit on and I'm sitting in my apartment, my take is crazy and ridiculous. Makes sense. Why do you have your hands like that?
This is my desk.
Oh. Let me fix my tie.
Two more things. I hope I can remember both the points I just had in my head because I was trying to really focus on what you were saying. The first thing is I think we should change the 65 game rule. I think we should bump it up. Let's make it 75 games or 70 games. No, let's make it 72 games. You get 10 nights off. And that should be if. You should be playing 82 games a season. You're a basketball player. This is what you do. People are begging to play 82 games. People are begging to play one game. You should not, besides injury and everything like that, I think there should be a clause for that. But like legitimate injuries.
I think
10 games.
It is absolutely horrendous that even has to be a thing.
Agreed.
Exactly.
I think it
That's
is
the point.
absolutely horrendous, ridiculous, whatever you want to say, that they have to make a rule specifically for that, because the amount of players that were abusing it and saving themselves for the NBA.
Joel Embiid.
I mean, playoffs. Like what?
Kawhi Leonard.
Your king did it too.
No, he would never.
Okay. Yeah.
He
You
would
might
never
want
do
to
that.
cough and say his name too.
Gargles.
And the other thing is, what if we just started cutting salaries? Stop fucking paying these players this much
Well,
money.
then you're gonna get a whole
Too
load
bad.
of holdouts.
Fuck 'em.
No, because at the end of the day, most of these guys have already made the paycheck. So realistically,
I know,
how much are you going to find them? 100,000? Cool.
No, I'm saying start reeling back these salaries. Stop paying these guys $100 million contracts for 4 years, and then
We had
they
the same
play, like,
discussion about football
50
too.
games a season.
Yeah.
We had the same discussion. It's about sports across the map.
They already get paid.
I
that
think
much.
it's
I know that's
crazy
like,
that there's I don't know. Matt, you know this better than me. I was talking to a guy that talks about baseball.
Mhm.
And there was a player that is potentially going to be in the billion for his contract. And obviously it's over like a long period of time, but that's for players to get paid 10 years after they're done retired. That's crazy.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you one player or one team that really fucked that up. That was the Baltimore Orioles paying what's his name? Chris Davis. Chris
Easy when
Davis.
you talk about Baltimore, all right? Just
Hey,
relax.
hey.
Pump it back a little bit.
Hey, reminder, I'm a Yankees fan, so
Nah,
but they paid Chris Davis a shit ton of money, and after that, he absolutely tanked. He was
Crazy.
god awful, and I'm surprised that he was able to stay in this league. He was awful.
It's just crazy. I mean, it's like almost every player follows
What
that
up,
trend.
Ben? What up, Ben?
They bust their ass until they get that paycheck, and then it's like, all right.
What about like a
got it.
salary clause then? Just like how they did Zion with his weight. What if they did a salary clause like you
Yeah,
have
let's
to
go,
play a specific amount of games, or you're not getting paid your full amount?
I don't know if limiting the money on these guys is going to do anything, because they're already in the millions. You know what I'm saying? They're already
What
making
other
that
leverage
money.
do you have?
I don't know. I don't know what you can do at that point. That's the frustrating thing. Like, that's where you're at, because dudes want to sit out to rest themselves, but you got fans that show up to a game. They spent their hard-earned money, because let's be real, that's who makes you fucking money. And all of a sudden, a guy like Anthony Davis is sitting out because he wants to rest his feet, right? You go to show up to a game, and a guy like Anthony Edwards is sitting out because he's tired. You know what I'm saying? Like,
That would never happen.
but I'm just saying, it's just like, it's one of those things. It's like, it's frustrating that they have to set up a whole rule to stop these dudes from doing that. Like, what if they would have never made that rule? Like, it would have been abused heavily.
100%.
And now everybody's like, oh, I'm going to play all 82 games. Well, you haven't in fucking years. Don't try and be high and mighty now.
And then you tear your body up, and then you're really in a hole.
How do you compare a player that's played 82 games with, say, he averages 27 points per game, but then you have a player who's played 50 games and he's averaging 40? Like the margins are so off. Like,
It should have an asterisk next to the name. It should have the asterisk.
Agreed.
Definitely.
Well, I think one of the major issues of the NBA right now is there's no face of the league. There's no face of the league. If you try and tell me, hey, who's the face of the league, who's the star, you're going to get about 1,000 different answers. It's crazy. Some people still say LeBron. Some people are going to say this person. Some people are going to say that person.
Kevin Durant. I mean, there's
I don't
guys.
agree with that. I don't agree with shortening the season.
Too short. Way too short.
There's
too much basketball to be played.
They're lazy and they're soft. It has nothing to do with the season. Players had far less technology, medical advances, and played the entire season. And they were
This
fine.
is
These guys
this
are
is
just
the
too fucking
problem
soft.
with the NBA right now, and I'm gonna say this, and I will die on this fucking hill. Is allowing 10 teams from each fucking conference to come in.
Agreed.
Too much.
I like
Is
the
the
idea of a
only
playing tournament, but it's
to
not
me that is my only reason. There's too many stars coming into the league because of the one and done. I mean, that is true, but nevertheless, you allow 10 teams from each conference. That is the top 20 teams. What is this? College basketball, March Madness. What are we doing here? Okay. There's no reason for competition until you get to that point. You allow 10 teams, it makes it. Thank you, Ben. I appreciate it. You make it to where you don't have to really try. Just be within contention. Just stay close. Just stay close to the top 10. If you're one of the teams from 11 to 15, as long as you're right there knocking at the door at number 10, you're chilling.
Fair point.
None of these games realistically matter until you get to that conference championship crap thing they have.
Especially, they don't matter until after All-Star break.
Right.
Realistically.
So my point is here, we went back to this, is who is the next face of the NBA? I got a couple of guys here. I'd like to hear from the community here. Whoever's in here, shout out. Hey, we appreciate y'all, man. This beautiful Tuesday evening, man. It's Thanksgiving Eve.
Yeah.
Can I throw a hat in the ring?
What's up?
Bronny James.
Okay.
That's crazy.
Kick him off the show.
You're lucky I don't have my
Hey, where's the
soundboard
flag?
done yet. That's something I'm working
Flag.
on my soundboard. That's gonna get you something crazy.
Hey, even though y'all don't use these, hey, you get one. You got your first flag.
Hey, that
You got your
reminds me.
first flag.
You know what's crazy? I ordered mine on Amazon and it said it was delivered, but I never got the fucking package.
Damn, they got stolen.
Damn.
Imagine somebody
Flags.
opening that and they
Somebody
see that it's
stole some football.
Imagine somebody
flags.
opening that and then seeing
Right.
it's some flags. Like, what the? All right, but
Like, you know what? That shit got thrown into a fire. They're like,
hell yeah, it got thrown away immediately. So I tried to find guys that are in that anywhere 25 and younger, right? I try to find guys that are we can say iconic-ish, kind of have a name to themselves already. People that are doing stuff, even like really young guys, and we can bounce it around and we can just see. So right now, Anthony Edwards is kind of like the top guy I would put at that list at the age of 23 right now. You got LaMelo Ball at the age of 23 as well. Ja Morant at 25, so he's right at that cusp of getting out of my 25 and younger. Franz Wagner, I think, should be kind of in there. The way he's been playing, he's kind of a star. He's showing up. He's at 23. Luka at the age of 25. And Paolo Banchero at the age of 22, the youngest on this list. If there's anybody else y'all can think about, and I just kind of want to hear everybody's thoughts on it. We don't have to make that decision today. I think we should put a poll out and see. And if there's somebody I'm missing, go. Hey, don't come at me. These are the people that I just thought off the top of my head, who I think could possibly be up there.
So when you're looking at face of the NBA, obviously there's three guys that are standouts: MJ, Kobe, LeBron. Right? Let's take those out. Do we count players like Kevin Durant, Stephen Curry, Giannis? Do these players count because they had their short spurts of like being really like the guy, or at least they're kind of in LeBron's era, and LeBron is still like a bigger face than them?
Yeah, I would say it's like with, like, when Kobe, right? Kobe was him. He had people that were there. You had, oh my God, wow, his name just escaped me. Spurs.
Tony Parker.
No, yeah, Duncan.
Dun-
Like, you
Tim
had
Duncan.
supplemental people around the league, and I think that's what you can kind of consider like Curry and those guys that you all mentioned. They're kind of like supplemental, but the guy that reigned supreme over, like, was like the face of it for the most of the duration is LeBron. So
Okay.
You can throw like Carmelo in there.
No, because
No?
Carmelo would
As-
fall
as
into
much-
that same category.
As much as I love Melo, he's one of my favorite players. Like I said, I literally was the reason why I started watching the NBA, like really watching it, and I followed him wherever he went. I would never put him as the face of the league, though.
Don't forget about
He was a great scorer, but other than that, I would never have done that.
Don't forget about D Wade.
D Wade, Hall of Famer, one of my favorite players ever.
but never
I wouldn't even
face.
consider.
Never
I-
the face. No.
Never
Really?
face.
But never the face.
Shaq?
No.
Never the face.
No.
Shaq.
No, I wouldn't say Shaq.
No, I don't think even Shaq, because Shaq was under Kobe.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
Shaq was
the
great.
one winning the MVP.
he was great, but yeah,
Yeah, but when you think about it, you thought about Kobe during that era.
It's because nobody respects the big man. Come on.
Well, look,
You know,
so
that-
I
But
that
to
is a
me,
sad
to me,
reality.
two people
Sad
that are
reality.
kind of iffy on this list, I would say three. And this is a list I made. I just put it all together real quick. John Morant, Franz Wagner, and Luka. I think the three of them, Morant with his off stuff issues and kind of attitude issues. Luka, same thing, and Luka not playing really defense. He's not, I don't know. And then Franz, he's just having like his hot year right now. See what he can do. But the three that I would say are like top dog. I would put Paulo in there because he's shown his spurts of greatness. Let's read this. Who wants to take that?
problem with determining the face of the league is that LeBron, Kobe, Durant, Curry all came in prior to social media taking over. Now that you can see the highlights of every player, it makes special plays from 10 to 15 years ago seem like a regular play. Well said.
I agree. It's a bit of oversaturation now. Because this is controversial, and I'm not saying I agree, and I'm not trying to take credit away from this person when I say this. But somebody was highlighting the fact that those same, legendary clips of Michael Jordan that you see, a lot of the guys are able to replicate those moves on a nightly basis. And it's like, okay, you have to think about context, but I see it. Like it
It's
is
like that with
replicable.
everybody, like anybody.
But I
in
know,
the
but it's just
past.
like, but that's the thing. It's like it's oversaturation. Of course, it's going to be replicated. I mean, they watch the clips, and now it's like you see every single highlight that happens in a night, like every single one.
But here's the thing. The thing is, if once you do something, everybody wants to do it, right? How many times did you sit in your driveway, dribbling the ball, 3 seconds in your head and counting it down, and you go and shoot that fadeaway shot to win the game?
But
right?
wait,
How
That's-
many
then you
that's
times?
the same thing.
you're
Like,
like, oh, he grabbed the rebound.
I grabbed the rebound.
Oh,
There's
3
still 1
seconds.
second, and you miss again,
That's-
and you're just like,
that's
"Oh
the-
shit, I suck at
that's the
basketball."
same
I
thing we
lost
were
game.
talking
Fuck it.
about. That's the same thing we were talking about with that Grand Slam in the World Series. Like every kid had that same fantasy. Like,
Right, but the thing is
everybody does it.
the thing is yeah, of course people are doing, I would hope people are doing what Michael Jordan did, but Michael Jordan was doing it before anybody else did.
True.
In his time.
A trendsetter.
Right, exactly. Just like Kobe, he was doing things that people weren't doing in his time. LeBron is doing things that he isn't doing in his time. I hope LeBron has created a standard where players get to last longer. People should study it. People should see it and work on that craft.
I feel like another factor then of the face of the NBA is like an overall package that can't be replicated, Nobody could do exactly what Michael did. Nobody can win 6 championships and go undefeated in the finals anymore. Nobody can go 3 years, take a year off, come back and win 3 more years in a row. Like the people can't do that. People can't be Kobe Bryant, who could literally take over a game by himself and just shoot the fuck out of the ball. And like nobody can get away with not passing the ball first. You can't do that in today's league. And then nobody could be as athletic as LeBron James. Like he's a freak. Like, and his basketball mind is just uncomparable. Like his IQ of basketball is unreal. Like there's stuff like the whole package of those three guys is so hard to replicate. And I think that's what really sets them apart.
I think it goes past that even. I think that also your mentality has a lot to do with you being the face too. If you don't have that champion, like I don't give a shit, I'm gonna make sure I get what I want mentality. Like I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna win that championship. I'm gonna and have that fight. That's the problem. A lot of players in the league don't even have that anymore. So like,
well, so do you?
The Kobe's and the Michaels.
So, do you think there will ever be another face of the franchise by the way that the players have starting to become? By the way this take is, by what our boy just said prior to the video.
I think.
Do you think we can get
LeBron
another
retires,
person? Do you think we can get another person that's gonna be a Kobe, a LeBron, a Michael, whoever else you want to throw in that circle?
Once
think
LeBron
yes,
retires, you
I
have
don't
to have
think
a fan favorite.
I don't think that we might have to have a fan favorite, but I don't think that we have the player in the league yet that's going to be the face.
There's not going to be a goat. There's not going to be another goat.
Also fair.
They haven't entered the league yet. I think there's going to be somebody that comes along who's going to be something special. I mean, obviously NBA players are all special. I mean, obviously they're talented, but just that standout, I don't think we have it in the league yet.
What about Victor
Wembanyama? If we did, everybody would be saying his name. You know what I mean? Like you kind of know, like you know, Kobe, you know LeBron. Like even before now, speaking during their peak in their prime, you knew it. Like they are dominant.
Were you joking about Victor? Or are you being serious?
No, I was being serious.
No, yeah, it's a great pick. I that was somebody that was going to put on that short list as well, but I didn't know because he's a Spurs player, and well, people have really stopped paying attention to Spurs.
Spurs have some legendary players on their roster,
but he's averaging 23 points a game. He's averaging 10 rebounds, not just so many assists, but he's pretty good. He's a pretty good baller. I mean, the kid plays really good ball. So I think we should put up a little list here. Do we add Victor? Do we keep the list? I think we take out Franz Wagner. We put Anthony Edwards, LaMelo Ball, John Morant, Victor. I'm not trying to say his last name because I will butcher the hell out of it.
Just Wemby.
Luka, and Paolo.
Is it bad to say I want to take out LaMelo Ball as well? I don't think he has it in him to be that face of the league. No disrespect to him. I think he's a great player, but I don't see him being face of the league.
Who would you replace him with?
I think the other four guys is perfect enough. I mean, Anthony Edwards. I feel like there's a little bit older guys that could be in there. I feel like John Morant has a fair case. He's got to keep it basketball, man. Even like a couple of nights ago when they played the Lakers, he's sitting on the bench and he's still pointing guns at Anthony Davis, and it's like, dude, well, you're probably the worst person to do that. Like, it's a maturity thing. But Anthony Edwards, Luka, Paolo is definitely, I think, a great choice, especially with how young he is.
I would even what I've been thinking.
Trae Young. I don't think he's young.
No, he has too many conduct. He's like
Jason Tatum.
Jason Tatum is 26, so he falls out of that 25-year-old range.
Yeah, but he could still he's still not old.
He's too corny though. I don't think people don't want to follow him. You know what I'm saying? Like once, okay. So here's the thing. I thought about it. No, I legitimately thought about adding him, right? But then once they won and he did all that corny ass shit and people clowned him for it, immediately, yes, exactly. We did it. And then posing like the Kobe, like up against the wall with his leg, like what, dude? Stop! And people were like, "Okay, this is bad." Now, if it was a different take and people were like, no, this is great, hell yeah, I'm like, okay, that was somebody I would have considered, but no, I don't think so.
No, everybody saw right through that shit. They're like, all right, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Then he got butthurt about the Olympics too.
It's true.
Yeah.
What about Jalen Brunson?
Jalen Brunson. How old is
New York Knicks?
Jalen Brunson. I don't know how old he is though.
I believe he's pretty young.
Tyler Hero. Nah, he's nobody.
No, he's no offense.
I would say Zion. I would say Zion if he had another chance with another team.
I don't think he can. I don't think he does. He's too quiet. You don't hear from him ever.
Well, because he plays on the Pelicans, that's why.
No, it doesn't matter. You still got to put up numbers. You know what I'm saying? You still got to be relevant. See, this is the thing. You got to. The thing is you got to find somebody that's making a difference in basketball, right? You got to find somebody that's constantly doing like great stuff. Don't get me wrong. His numbers aren't terrible. He's like averaging 22 points a game or 23. He's probably got close to 10 rebounds. But like
when he's playing.
When he's playing, though, and that's like the other thing. Your face of the franchise can't be sitting on the bench all the time.
Okay, Jalen Brunson.
Michael Jordan isn't going to be the face of the franchise if he was sitting out all his games. Motherfucker played a game and he had people say he was either drunk, hungover, or he had the flu, right? So it doesn't matter. He still played. He was visibly fucking sick. Kobe Bryant isn't the face of the franchise if he's sitting out half of his games. Early LeBron,
LeBron was his whole finger, popped it back in, and kept playing.
Yeah, LeBron didn't miss games. Later, LeBron started missing games.
Well, second year Cleveland, LeBron didn't miss games either. He was that dude, especially playoff times. Probably.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying like Laker era Browns.
Yeah, Laker era Braun is different. That's where he started to skip games because his health caught up to him. I mean, he had like a flawless record almost up until then.
So I really want to see, to jump back to LeBron, I want to see how he does tonight. If he has another low-scoring game, are we concerned?
No, I don't think we're concerned because especially against a tough team, I don't even think he has a low-scoring game. I think he's got two back-to-back tough games. He's got the Suns and the Spurs tomorrow. So be interesting to see. Yeah, I mean, any of those teams could really win.
So
good basketball.
I think that's it. I mean, look for the poll to come up. We'll be talking, face of the franchise. If you guys are in here, if you guys want to talk about it, just message us. Even if we move on, man, we'll always bounce back to it. Face of the franchise. You guys heard it here. Anthony Edwards, LaMelo Ball, John Morant, Luka, Paolo, and anybody else? Victor,
Wemby.
Victor. We'll put Victor in there. We'll put a poll up. Y'all vote on it, man. We'll see what the people think, what the people want to see. I mean, we'll even put none. We'll put a none section. Actually,
what about Stephen Curry?
Yeah. Okay. Not that.
Does he not get that? I mean,
put an other option. I'm sure we'll get a bunch of answers.
Right.
Honestly, I think that if we were just talking about overall, yes, but if we're talking about 25 and under, that would be obviously no. But I mean, I agree with you. And I brought him up the last time we talked about this because he literally changed the game.
He's the guy who cost LeBron championships too.
3-pointers were not as big as they were until Curry came along and made
now he's ruined the game with them,
for better or worse.
Yeah, and now the game's ruined.
He made it the cool thing. You know what I mean? So like, he did make an impact on the game. So we were talking about LeBron retiring and Curry still being, he would technically probably be that guy. But if we're talking young players trying to find the next icon to be the face, then obviously he won't fall in the category.
I'm going with Ant.
So I think it's
gotta go with him, man.
That would be the only thing. Like if we change it when we do the wording, it's going to have to state that it's about the younger up and coming players.
Yeah,
not just overall.
Yeah, because Curry's he was born the same year I was born, 36. He's 36 years old.
Same hospital as LeBron James as well. Kind of weird.
Crazy. So,
Right.
I think that's it, ladies and gentlemen.
Hospital.
Hey, if you're spending your Tuesday evening with us, we appreciate y'all hanging out with us. This is No Rules, Just Sports, your favorite, and we like to think it's the best sports podcast out in the land. If you're hanging with us, make sure you hit that like button, make sure you're hitting that follow button, make sure you're subscribing to all of our channels. We are on all of social media platforms you can think of: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, and we are big on TikTok as well. We're trying to get our TikTok live going here within the next couple weeks. Other than that, we appreciate all your interaction within the community.
Honestly, that TikTok's on me. If I had faster internet, we'd be on.
There you good, man. Your day. Hey, man. We're all in this together.
We ain't stressing about it.
Hey, we're still up and growing. The TikToks, honestly, the TikToks kind of goes, it kind of goes up and down. It goes in waves. TikTok algorithm is, we talked about it. It's kind of sketchy sometimes. There'll be some good viewership, bad viewership. So
now I want to give a shout out to my boy Damien, man. Thank you for another good basketball segment. Spent an hour and 20 minutes talking about some basketball.
Oh yeah.
We appreciate you, man. We appreciate you coming on the show, brother. I hope you have a happy and safe Thanksgiving. I'll see you on Friendsgiving on Friday.
Yes, sir.
King Roosa, everybody.
Thank you, guys.
Brother.
Thank you. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody who's watching.
Hey, brother. Happy Thanksgiving. Be safe, all right?
All
right. Let's hit the rake. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Shout out to E for another cool awesome transition video. Not too much action going on in the league tonight. We only had 2 games right now. We got the Vancouver Canucks, Red Hot Canucks playing the Boston Bruins, who are still on the struggle bus. Canucks currently lead 1-0 at the Garden. It's currently in the 3rd period. And then the Utah Hockey Club is tied with the Montreal Canadiens, also in the 3rd period, tied at 2. Crazy story that happened to the Utah Hockey Club this weekend. They were in Toronto on Sunday, and Toronto, for some reason, decided to schedule a. Well, let me pull up the article here. Toronto had their annual, what is it called? Santa Claus Parade. So a little Christmas parade going on in the city of Toronto. But apparently it caused so much traffic that the team bus for the Utah Hockey Club got stuck, and the players had to end up walking to Scotiabank Arena.
That's crazy.
That is, I'm sorry, but that is pathetic.
That's crazy.
And according to the article, this is not the first time it's happened to a team or just performers. Over the summer, apparently Niall Horan was performing in Toronto, and their bus got stuck in downtown Toronto, and Niall Horan had to walk from the bus all the way to the stadium, or to the arena.
That's crazy.
It is absolutely that's nuts. So, I want to hear from anyone who's a Raptors fan, a Leafs fan, or anybody who lives in Toronto. Is the city just that bad, or what's going on around in downtown Toronto? I want to hear from someone who lives in Toronto. There's probably no one here right now, but.
I would assume it's just the weather. It's probably snowing and stuff up there. You know what I'm saying? So that's probably what ended up happening because you're in snow season. You just had the snow game over there by the Steelers, and they're south of them. So that's probably what ended up happening. But I want to give a quick shout out to the Panthers. What the hell is going on? We're on a 4-game losing streak. We're dropping now. We're in 2nd place, but nevertheless, still in 2nd place. Get your shit together, boys. That's all I got to say.
I will say this, y'all will be proud of me. I started watching some Capitals highlights.
Hey, there you go.
I'm starting to warm myself up and try to get into it. That way I can at least talk something hockey. I'll just talk my team. I'm not going to watch all the hockey. But
hey, man,
I have started to dip my toes in the water. Dip my toes.
Dipping your beak in the water. Absolutely. So we'll look at but
It is,
we'll move on to the
it's
standings.
fun to watch. It really
It
is
is.
fun to watch, though.
Oh, it's a great hockey. Ice hockey is so
It's
great to watch.
crazy how they fucking move on skates like that. Like that's
It's crazy, right?
crazy.
Absolutely. Looking at each of our teams, so we're going to the Atlantic division. Really, Sabres Stanley. Wow, that's a hot take right there.
Okay.
was
No,
a
they're
good
playing
take.
good. They're not playing bad. I gotta agree.
Not playing bad at all.
I gotta agree with Drag. We may not agree about the Bills thing, but
Florida Panthers are.
That's just a sore topic for all of us.
We're getting to it. Hey, stick
Bills
around.
don't like us.
Stick
Bills
around.
fans
You
don't
are,
like
we are in. You are in for a treat. Oh man. Going to the Atlantic Division. Coaches Florida Panthers are currently second in the Atlantic Division, with a record of 12-9-1, 25 points overall. Just about 3 points behind the Toronto Maple Leafs in first place. East Washington Capitals are currently third in the Metro. They're behind the New Jersey Devils in first place with 32 points, and the Carolina Hurricanes with 31 points. So a pretty close battle there. I think that once OV comes back for the Capitals, I think they'll continue that tear. I think that OV will definitely be chasing that. He's only 29 goals away from that record, so I think he's going to be able to do it.
Honestly, it's funny enough that you say that because New Jersey was, if I had to pick between two teams, it was the Devils and the Capitals. I went with the
Really?
Capitals because I'm a local, but I just love the Devils uniform. I just love like the name, everything.
They're pretty fire.
Whenever I play NHL games, because I have played the games just for
Yeah.
fun.
Oh, yeah.
I always pick them. So I mean, like, if I had to pick, those are my two. But I'm like I said, I'm sticking with home team from now on.
Absolutely.
I want to shout out. I do want to shout out the Sabres, man. They're on a nice little win streak. I think I thought like their last 6, 7, 8 games, they've won almost all of them and lost like 2. So they're playing really good hockey right now. Unlike my Panthers, which again have lost 4 in a row.
Yeah, Buffalo last 3 are 7-3. That includes they beat my Anaheim Ducks. But the Ducks are playing a little bit better. We see there's a lot of improvement. If we can stay healthy, that'd be nice too. They're currently second. Ducks are currently second to last in the Pacific, but it's still a long rebuild. So there's a long way to go until potentially Cup's going to come back to Orange County. Another hot team, still hot in the league, is the Winnipeg Jets. They're currently 18-4 overall, 36 points.
Playing great
And
hockey.
I think they're going to be the team to beat down the stretch. Those fans have been so desperate for ever since they moved from Atlanta or expanded from Atlanta up to Winnipeg. They've been thirsty for a championship. They've come short in the playoffs every year. But I think this might be it right here. And yeah, one more thing I was gonna highlight real quick in the NHL. Lost the article. Oh yes, Carolina Hurricanes goalie situation is not looking good. I'm gonna butcher this name. Peter Kochikov. Yeah, Peter Kochikov has entered the concussion protocol. And that is soon after their other goalie, Frederick Anderson, also is out 8 to 12 weeks due to having knee surgery. So not a good goalie situation there for Carolina. They're playing really good hockey right now. So we could potentially be seeing a goalie trade here soon. Rumors has it that they're looking at the Anaheim Ducks. Ducks have John Gibson, who's been their long-tentured goalie, and Lucas Dostal, who is their kind of up-and-coming rookie. He's been in the league for 3. This is his 3rd season in the league, and he's looked pretty stellar. So hopefully we hang on to both of them. Both bring such a great brick wall to the Ducks' dwindling defense. So it'll be interesting to see what the Hurricanes decide to do. And all right, that is, like I said, keep it nice and short for hockey tonight. Nothing too much crazy going on. Take one more look at the scores. Nothing's really changed. The Canucks Bruins game is always a good cross country rivalry. But yeah, hey, let us know. By the way, if you were here for that conversation about the Utah Hockey Club while having to walk from their bus to the arena, let us know what you think. Is that embarrassing if being a Maple Leafs fan or just a citizen of the city of Toronto?
Interesting.
So, and even the mayor of the town came out and said that he was really embarrassed about the whole situation.
I definitely would be.
Absolutely, that's just not a good look. But all right, now, believe it or not, the speaking of the college football playoff updated rankings just came out. So why don't we hit it?
Real quick, I want to give an update. NBA games for those of y'all paying attention. Bulls are currently beating the Wizards 120-96 with 2 minutes and 45 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Looks like the Wizards will remain the worst team in the NBA. Bucks are currently beating the Heat 82-74. Third quarter with 2 minutes left, and the Rockets and Timberwolves game is starting the third quarter. Rockets up 59-47.
The Wizards are coming back. They're about to make a crazy comeback.
Wizards are going to have
2 minutes.
The comeback of all.
And
yes,
the 76ers still out.
Yes, Drac, we talked about it earlier, man. The 76ers, they've since last week's episode, they've only won one game. And me and Damien, I think we're gonna, if you're interested, we're probably gonna be starting our episodes now at 7, so the show doesn't go as late. But we want to take a deep dive on the 76ers and understanding what is going on with that team. Like, hello, on paper, you have a really nice team, but I digress. Let's talk some college football.
I tell you what, coming down to the wire here, it was a crazy weekend for college football. Lots of great games happen. Good amount of upsets too. I want to start with this Indiana-Ohio State game. Number 5 Indiana loses to Ohio State 38-15. I know Coach has a lot to say about Indiana. Coach, you want to take it away?
Go ahead and run that clip for me, sir.
What needs to happen to take down the Buckeyes today?
Got to play our game. I mean, we didn't get here with a magic wand, right? We have the largest scoring margin in the country. I mean, we earned the right to be here, okay?
Yeah.
What?
About that, sir. Yeah, about that, sir.
Oh my goodness. 38-15.
Interesting you say that, sir.
How about that for a kick in the nuts?
I'm just saying, when I have said things, it's not because it's da 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 da. Listen, man, I do love the confidence, but man, that's a kick in the teeth, brother. I just don't understand where people like, why is my take such a bad take? You know what I'm saying? Like, people, oh, look at these guys and they're look at these guys in their apartment over here. They don't even know what they're talking about. What is this sports podcast show? Oh my god. Well, hey, I was right.
Just so Jay Muffin 17.
Mm.
What's gonna happen if IU beats Ohio State?
I guess we'll never find out.
We'll never know. We will never know.
I guess we'll never know, baby, because it didn't happen.
It didn't happen.
It didn't happen like I said it was, and I said it wasn't going to be a close one. I said Ohio State was going to beat their ass. It ain't going to happen. Oh, when I said that they played no teams. Oh, but they played this team, but they had this quarterback, or they had this quarterback. I don't give a flying monkeys. You know what?
Coach, man, I hate being right.
I hate being right because I'm the villain. I don't give a shit. It's the truth, man. Don't come at me. You got a fluffed ass 5, and I called that. You were ranked 5, and you got beat that bad.
Coach only
speaks the gospel. You know it, baby.
Oh Lord.
Beans. No, I'm playing. Let me stop. All right. Keep going.
I'm
happy that happened.
Yes. And just to give you an idea how bad they looked, Curtis Rourke went 8 for 18, 68 yards. That is god awful for a number they were ranked number 5. That is not good.
Can I repeat that real quick? I'm gonna repeat that.
Go ahead.
8 for 18, 68 yards as a quarterback. That's like running back numbers.
Jesus Christ. Speaking of, they dropped down to number 11.
There's a problem when I do it? I bet.
Speaking of, they dropped down to number 11 in this week's college football playoff rankings. We'll get to that here in a bit. Oh, my goodness. Number 9, Ole Miss, goes into Gainesville and gets upset by the Gators, 24-17. Lane Kiffin, what are you doing?
Be careful with the Gators.
They're showing a lot. They've showed a lot. It pains me to say that, but they're definitely going to be a team to watch here in the coming seasons.
They got a lot of young guys, and they're putting it together. DJ Lagway is going to be that dude. I'm just saying, like, be careful with that team. They look pretty freaking good, and they're figuring it out with what they have. And like I said, it's a very young team. At least the people that are at the helm offensively. So, I mean, I didn't see this coming, to be honest with you. But I am happy it happened. I am happy it happened because at least they're not FSU. Ooh, I said it. Sorry for what I say.
Here's the crazy
You guys
thing.
were ranked. What were they ranked before the season started?
4. Something top 10, at least top 10.
BTA, baby. BTA. Belt to ass. That's what they got all year long. Belt to ass.
Here's a crazy thing about Ole Miss. Jackson Dart goes 24 for 41, 323 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. .323 is pretty good, but when you see the 2 interceptions there, especially the one he threw at the end of the game, that's bad. Yep. And that's the first. I believe that was the first time that Ole Miss has turned it over more than 3 times in a game. If I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
So, something like that. It was something like
this
that.
season, for in a long time. So there goes Ole Miss's chance of making the playoffs right there. That right there pretty much just, kicks the can right there. Kicks the bucket, however that saying is. Let's see.
I think another good game that excuse me, that happened was Oklahoma beating the ever living dog snot out of Alabama, 24-3. Alabama, see you later.
Yeah, that's another one's kicking the bucket right there. Alabama. Jalen Milroe chose the wrong game to be have his shit game.
Mm-hmm. Army losing to Notre Dame as bad as they did kind of proved that they weren't as good. They played a fluff schedule.
Yep.
I kind of saw that because who are you guys playing? Let's be real. I think so. One game that I thought was extremely funny. We were watching. Me and my wife were at a restaurant eating. Shout out to Chop Chop. I think it's called Chop Chop Restaurant, right? And
we're not sponsored.
We're not sponsored, but they're friends of mine. They just acquired the business and they're trying to change it around. It used to be a Korean joint and they're changing it to more of like a sports bar. Good food, really good food. But we were watching the game and I'm watching the Arizona State BYU game. Did you guys see the end of that game?
Oh my goodness.
The madness that happened at that game. The quarterback runs. Arizona State's quarterback runs and throws the ball out of bounds.
With
clock hits 0.
With 1 second, right?
Well, hold on. Clock hits 0. Everybody rushes the field. They lower the goalposts just in case because now they have technology to lower the goalposts so they don't get ripped off and get thrown into a lake.
That sounds like some Arizona shit, though.
So, goalposts are down, fans are on the field, people are screaming, losing their minds. Refs are like, hold on a second. They go back, they watch a replay. The refs have armed security around them with students swarming them, jumping up and down, going crazy. Da, 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 da. 1 second left on the clock. It hits a fan with 1 second left on the clock. Now comes the task of escorting the entire stadium off your field.
Good luck.
To clear. Took about, I think they said 18 minutes to get everybody off.
Just for one more play.
But the thing was, they weren't even off. They were just smudged into the sidelines. So you had fans in there with players, and it was just chaos.
Mad chaos.
1 second left on the clock. BYU quarterback snaps the ball, goes to throw the ball, bombs it. Hail Mary. Guy catches it, but lands 2 yards short. Ball game. The funniest thing happens because they zoom in on the dude. A fan is immediately there. Like, I'm talking about the bitch hits 0. He lands on the ground. A fan is right there with a camera, holding his camera, recording and pointing at him. Dude, I would have got up and beat the hell out of him. I told you about taking the high road.
That's that takes a lot of self-control.
Yeah.
That player didn't. That's a lot. That's a lot to say. You know what, motherfucker? Fuck you. I just lost the game.
Please go. If you did not watch the ending to that game, for everybody in the community, everybody out here listening, man, go watch it. It was actually pretty. It was pretty. To watch it real time was funny as hell. And then there was like one spot where they were like just looking at a wave of people trying to get off, and the cameraman didn't notice. And there's a dude just literally just flicking them off. He's like, fuck you. He's just sitting there like this the whole time. And he keeps just throwing the middle fingers. And I guess they finally realized it. So he cut away real quick. But by then, the damage was already done. He'd been on camera for like 20 seconds just flicking us off.
I gotta go back and watch this.
It was hilarious.
You know what I would have done? I would have pulled a Jason Kelsey on him.
Oh, well, sorry. Take the phone and throw it.
Yeah, take the phone and chuck it on the ground. Had no mercy. I believe the same thing happened in the Oklahoma and Alabama game. There was 18 seconds left on the clock, and all the fans just were restless, and they rushed the field.
Yeah,
it wasn't nearly as crazy as Arizona State, but
there was no comeback there.
Yeah, there was no comeback. You're right. Yeah. One other game, Colorado, and a lot of people saw this coming. They go to Kansas and they get upset, 37-21. Goodbye, Colorado. Goodbye, Dion. That's wraps.
Let's chill, man. I mean, he's doing some really good things with some shitty programs.
Yeah, but there was a lot of hype.
Here we go. I'm defending the man. Let's go. We're battling now here. Have you ever heard of JSU before Dion? Don't lie to me. Nope. Okay. What about Colorado? Obviously, we knew of Colorado.
Yeah, I knew Colorado before Dion.
Any relevance whatsoever anywhere?
I met a girl on a cruise one time. She went to Colorado.
Answer the question. Were they of any relevance any time in the last century?
I think they had a good baseball team. Maybe 1 year.
The question. Dodging it. What
do you mean I'm dodging it?
Was the football team of any relevance in the last, we'll say,
all right,
century?
Fine. You got your point through.
Okay. I'm just saying, the man does his job well, and you either love him or you hate him, and I love him. Why? Because he's getting these kids a chance. He's getting these kids the opportunity to look good, because it's not only about what you do on the field, but it's also about the proper marketing. And let me tell you something. He's marketing this Colorado team that has had zero marketing of their players, zero people showing up to games. Right now, you can't buy a seat in that stadium, I don't think.
It's an old
quote me on it, ladies and gentlemen. Let me tell you something. I don't look up everything before I speak about it, but I'm pretty sure damn near close to it. Those games were from before to now. He's doing good things. I mean, and I get it. You can hate him because he's outspoken and he's this and he's that and he's brash, but he's doing his job. He's coaching one hell of a game. This is year 2. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, year 2 of a team that can somebody fact check this real quick? When's the last time Colorado football was ranked?
Yeah, I'm looking up right now. I got you.
It's funny that you're saying all this. I have had several arguments with people about that. I'm a Deion fan, just because, like you said, it's the fact that he's bringing opportunities to people that didn't know really have it, and not only that, but if you look at, he actually focuses a lot on developing them as young men as well. It's not just about football. Just it's more to it than that. And
Yeah.
I've always been a fan of Wade. Now, granted, people are like, he's doing it for the wrong reasons, blah blah blah, but he's still doing it though. He's still giving them opportunities. Like at the JSU shit, like you said, nobody had heard of them, and he had them buzzing. He had them meeting celebrities, meeting other football players. Like he was doing a lot of things. I've always been a fan of him.
Yeah, I'd like to see, I'd like to see it, but Colorado's just been meh to me in my eyes. I mean, I've watched plenty of football. I'm not saying that they've always been terrible, and I'm sure they've had their little spurts from here until the last century or whatever you want to call it, or last decade or however long. We'll say the last 10 years. I'm pretty sure they've had decent teams, but damn, this guy took a program that wasn't that good, man. What was their record the year prior?
So let me ask you this then. Go ahead, E.
Coach, did you just say you watch football? I thought we didn't watch football. We don't watch football.
No, we don't watch football here, dude. We
don't watch sports.
I'm not an actual coach neither, by the way.
I thought when you said that, I was like, man, why would he lie like that? That's crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I want to ask you this. Now with all the rumors about Deion, we kind of touched on it last week. Do you see him going to the NFL next year? Or do you see him staying in Colorado?
It's so hard. It's so hard to. I don't want to speak on something that I really don't know a lot about, but Colorado took a big chance with him, gave him some decent money, and I know he's very grateful for that. I know he's very grateful for it, the amount of money they paid him. But could he go? Yeah, of course. Of course. Why would he not? If given the opportunity. Will he go? I don't know right now.
I think he likes where he's at in Colorado.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if he goes to the NFL yet.
I think he's not ready.
I also saw rumors that spreading about him potentially leaving Colorado, going to the SEC team.
All right,
I want to all rumors.
By the way,
last 20 years. Go ahead. What do you say?
I was gonna say the last time Colorado's rank was 2016.
Yeah.
I just pulled it up. Yeah, 2016. Before that was 2002.
Yeah, when he took over, they were 1-11.
Yeah.
When he took over, they were 1-11. Went 4-8, and now he's 8-3.
Because they started 4-0. They started 4-0 that season, or 3-0 last year.
Yeah, shout out to Prime. Doing what you're doing with what you have. And I'm not saying he doesn't have tools. He's got Travis Hunter. He's got a bunch of, he's got his son. His son's a pretty decent quarterback.
Which he'll lose both. He'll lose both to the draft this year.
Yeah. For what he's doing, man, shout out to Coach Prime. I get it. He's not everybody's cup of tea, but I love it. I love it. I love it because he is a player's coach. He is making sure his boys get every opportunity to get recruited.
Absolutely.
And the problem that we're having right now with college football is college football has turned into a paid league. Don't care what you say.
Oh, here we go.
It's turned into a paid league, and now people are like, well, and you can't be bad. And now people, it's just, I don't know. It's like we're watching pro football, like NFL. When people say, well, I don't like watching pro football because they're spoiled with money. But you got the same shit going on in college now. And some of those contracts are more than what a rookie contract would be. So your argument is irrelevant.
Hella irrelevant.
So, yeah,
absolutely. Yep. One more upset happened over the weekend. Auburn wins a thriller in 4. It takes 4 overtimes for them to upset number 15 Texas A&M. Final score 43-41. I watched that game and that was just back and forth. It was madness. Really sucks because Texas A&M was really, shooting for the playoff, but now that pretty much diminishes their chances. But good on Auburn though. Good for, Auburn was 1-5 coming into this game in SEC play. So I think they needed a big win like this going into the Iron Bowl next week.
Shout out to Penn State for barely squeaking by against the Minnesota Golden Bears.
I thought they were gonna I thought Penn State was gonna lose. I'll be real. That was tough.
Penn State not very convincing this year.
Yep. Speaking of, let's go to this week's college football rankings. Oregon, top 4 are going to remain the same. Oregon number 1, Ohio State number 2, Texas 3, and Penn State number 4. I don't know how.
Way too high.
Way too high.
Way too high for Penn State.
Notre Dame moves up to number 5.
Way too high for Notre Dame.
Yeah. Miami number 6. Georgia's at number 7. The only reason that all these teams are so high is because Indiana drops all the way to number 10. Georgia 7, Tennessee number 8, SMU representing the ACC, second place are at number 9. Indiana goes down to number 10. Boise State representing the Mountain West is at number 11, and Clemson and Alabama are the first 2 teams out.
Penn State, count your lucky stars. You're going to stay up there because your next game is Maryland.
We're about to whoop that ass.
I'm not saying Penn State is Jesus. I can't formulate a train of thought here. I'm not saying that they are like Indiana, but you beat UCLA. You beat Kent State. Are you kidding me? Kent State? You played Kent State, the worst team in college football. They can't get 5 people to show up to the games. You beat Bowling Green, but it was a close one, 27-34. You beat Wisconsin, a struggling Wisconsin team. You barely beat USC, lose to Ohio State. That was a close fight, which I was surprised. Thought Ohio State would be better beating them. You beat Washington, you beat Purdue, and then you barely beat Minnesota. So,
and they're about to get beat by Maryland. So, I mean, that's just crazy to end the season like that.
All right. 25-point favorite. We'll see. You heard it right here, guys.
I'm not convinced of Penn State.
Let's go Terps, baby.
Look on Penn State is just not there.
Hey, is Tua's brother still playing? Is still starting in Maryland? Or is he graduated? No, he's gone.
Billy Edwards, I believe.
That's the most Maryland name I've ever heard.
That is a Maryland ass name.
Absolutely. But going into last week, going into rivalry week, we have some notable matchups.
Yeah.
Big one. I think the big Billy Edwards. I think the biggest game I'm going to have my eyes on this week is going to be that Texas A&M. Let's see if Texas A&M can bring some firepower after. That was supposed to be a really big game. I want to see if they can somehow squeak by Texas. I think they might. They'll keep it close. But I think they'll be. It's at Kyle Field, so it's a tough place to play.
Yeah. No, it
So,
definitely is.
that'll be definitely the game to watch. In the Big 12, Kansas State playing Iowa State. That's going to be huge implications there for the Big 12. That's really it. Ohio State and Michigan's not going to be that exciting. Michigan sucks dick this year.
Terrible.
Clemson, South Carolina is always a good matchup. They both are kind of, looking in from the outside. South Carolina has had some pretty decent. They've played really good football this year. So, yeah. But that's it. Let's get to our bread and butter. By the way, before we transition, if you are spending your Tuesday evening with us, we really appreciate you hanging out with us. This is no rules, just sports. Your unbiased, uncensored, whatever you want to call it, sports podcast. We like to say it's the best podcast in the land. Make sure you're hitting that like button. Make sure you're hitting that follow button on all of our pages. We're on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Twitch, Instagram. Make sure you're hitting that notification bell as well every time we go live. Make sure you are in here. Just a little side note. Next week, we'll be going live on Wednesday. I will be traveling for the holidays. Coming up here, I'll be traveling back next Tuesday. So we'll be going live next Wednesday. We're going to try going a little bit earlier. Yep, at 7 o'clock. So make sure you're in here. Make sure you're in here or else you're going to be missing out. So next Wednesday, 7 p.m. That is December 4th already. Wow. December's next week.
Crazy, man.
It's crazy, right? All right, boys, let's hit our favorite NFL.
Yes, sir.
All right. Hey, that was another great transition, by the way. Wow. Let's start Thursday night. Cleveland Browns and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Boys, did I not call that upset?
That was a beautiful game.
That was a great game. That was a great game for multiple reasons. First of all, let's talk about Jameis Winston's little pregame speech.
Go ahead. I'll hit it off for you.
The horse is prepared for battle, but victory comes from the Lord. So I'm dependent on the Lord.
Is that the message to the team?
Day by day, one play at a time. That's the message.
Weather conditions tonight. We're expecting winds up to 15 miles per hour in a wintry mix. How will that impact your ability to throw the ball?
I'm so happy and grateful that the Lord has blessed me to play in some snow, to be in true football weather in Cleveland, Ohio, at Huntington Bank Field today to give him the glory. It's a beautiful day.
Sure feels like you're playing in the AFC North.
It is. It's magical. Thank you.
You can't hate that guy.
You just can't hate that guy.
What an amazing speech, man. What an amazing speech. You can call him corny. You can call him whatever you want, man. Jameis Winston has been always that dude. That is who he's been from FSU all the way up.
Light up. It lit up.
He's like a kid in the candy store.
He's never played in snow. Never played in snow.
I saw that, yeah.
And that is
in Florida.
Yeah.
Most of great in Florida. So
just seeing him get that emotion, like obviously not emotional, but you can see like he couldn't hold the emotions back on his face. Just like it hitting him all at once right there. Such a cool moment. I can't say anything else. And then just to be able to see some snow football at nighttime.
Beautiful.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's just anyways. Nah, man, that's just who he is, man. Unless he's been taking that his entire life, man. That is who Jameis Winston is. He's like this cornball, just goofy, just
glorious player.
Blessed to be where he is, kind of guy. He knows
he's just a very positive individual.
Yeah.
Do you think he deserves a starting job next year?
If he continues to win, sure, but I think he's a great mentor for a young quarterback. They should bring in a young quarterback and definitely keep him and mentor him and help him because, I mean, if you hear people talk about him, they have nothing but good things to say about him. He's a great locker room guy. Great locker room guy.
I was about to say, like, obviously where I've been seeing that speech, and so now obviously Winston things are popping up a lot on my social media. But like every team, every person, they just genuinely love being around him. Like when you see him talking to like the other teams he's been on during like the pre games, everybody comes up to him post games. Everybody's hugging him. He's asking how their family is. He's remembering what their kids' names are. He's just like people just love him. You know what I mean?
He's
like
a genuine guy.
That aura.
Yeah, he's a genuine guy. I love it, man. I we can talk the numbers and all that here, but I think the biggest take from that is just go fuck yourself, Steelers fans. That's what you get.
I love hearing that. I love hearing that.
Restroom. Hold on, I'll be right back.
You're good. I'll kind of while you hit the restroom, we'll kind of transition out. But man, that was a good call. I gotta flex on that a little bit. That was a great upset call. Division game. That is so Pittsburgh Steelers to go and beat the Baltimore Ravens, and then they turn around and lose to the Cleveland Browns. I mean,
Cleveland doesn't really have a bad team, though. That's the thing.
Like, they don't. No, they don't. They just been getting really unlucky.
Think about it. Yeah, I mean,
a lot of people just like oversee the talent that the Cleveland Browns have.
Yeah, I mean they genuinely do. They have a good secondary. They have Garrett, but they have decent pieces. It's just it seems like they just can't always put the pieces together for the games. It's like
right
because their roster hasn't been bad for 3 years.
No, not at all. I mean, they've made playoffs. They made the playoffs the last couple years, if I'm not mistaken. At least one of the last 2 years. I think they got Patty. I think it was last year. They got paddywhacked by Houston in the wild card, though.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like it is. I'm always happy when I see the Browns winning.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
Kind of like underdog. It's the same underdog shit. Same thing with the Lions. Like
exactly.
I like seeing the Browns win. I love seeing it. And then this is like I said, just to see that pregame, and then I saw the pregame live. Like I watched that. You know what I mean? Like to see him light up, to see that happen, to see the football, the snow, the nostalgic feeling of wanting to play in the snow. Like everything about that game was just football. Like that was a perfect football game.
And then post game too. I mean, he was having so much fun on the post game show.
He had the fucking anchors out there doing snow angels.
Yes, I saw that. That was crazy.
It was just this is a good experience. I love it.
It was a good game,
especially
man. Not so much. They had some really cool photos of that game too, man. Seeing like the snowman, it really almost like hit home, man. The holidays are here. You know what I'm saying? Like
start of winter.
I don't know why. It just watching the game and then I went back and watched like photos, and they had like still photos of like the players lined up. You had like the D line and the O line lined up against each other, and like the faux snow falling in front of them and stuff. And it was just so cool. It just was like, damn, the holiday season's here. That was like, I think when it clicked for me. I know it's weird or whatever, but awesome game. It was such a good game to watch. It
was a great game. Yeah, one of the better Thursday night games.
Definitely. Because Thursday night has been terrible, and that was a really good one. Good one.
There's been some decent. Last year, all the Thursday night games were dog shit, but this year they've actually turned it around. They've had some decent games. I tell you what, Al Michaels is starting to really slow down. I cannot stand Kirk Herbstreit as an announcer.
Yeah, he's
terrible announcing crew. So they got to change that in the next season or two. They got to do something about it.
Definitely.
I want to know. I want Bill. I think Bill came and went, but man, what an embarrassing performance by the Kansas City Chiefs. They barely squeaked by. I'm talking barely at the last second to the Carolina Panthers, 30-27. My God.
But hey, Bills fans, they're elite. That's why that's why that win was so important, because they're so elite. Kansas City elite
goodness.
This year.
But here's my thing with that, right? And ladies and gentlemen, if you are unaware, we had a contenders or pretenders, and we all kind of went on the pretenders boat for the Bills. And Bills Mafia was not happy, rightfully so. Don't let us talk shit about your team. But it wasn't even us talking shit. It was just us, explaining why we felt this way. And, just the eye test. I always go back to the eye test. It just doesn't look great. right? I'm not saying you're never going to be there, and I'm not saying you never will. I'm just saying I don't think it's this year. We've all been on the same boat that the Kansas City Chiefs have squeaked by every single game and has had the grace of God and the referees in their back pocket to help them every step of the way. But when y'all beat them, oh, they are not that good of a team, and they're the greatest team. No, they're the greatest team in the NFL, and da-da-da-da-da, and they're the elitist team, and blah. Really, dude? Really? Now all of a sudden they're an elite team because y'all beat them? Can't pick and choose when you want them to be elite and not. So that's just my spot on that.
Absolutely. One more game I want to hit, and then we'll hit each of our individual teams. 49ers and Packers. Packers win 38-10. 49ers had no Nick Bosa. They had no Brock Purdy. For the 49ers, what's their issue? Do you think is it Kyle Shanahan or is it McCaffrey just not being able to carry?
Start over.
Watch out now. Watch out. You already had one sports talk show say that he said the same thing, and them San Fran fans were going crazy. But I mean, I like the point that he made though. Like all of their star players, outside of one or two, are getting past that prime spot. They're not going to be what they were. So why
like
not take
Brandon
this time,
Ayuk?
get rid of them and rebuild? Because they're not winning right now. They're not going to win. They have Debo doesn't look the same as he did last year.
No.
Ayuk, you don't know who you're going to get, and then obviously he gets hurt.
He
But
tears his
you
ACL,
don't-
so who knows?
you don't-
He's
But I'm saying even before that, you didn't know he was holding out, and then he was being like Kittle. As much as you want to say he's going to keep going, but
I think he's plateaued. He's
speaking-
peaked a little bit.
well, statistically speaking, tight ends start going down after when they hit 30. You're going to have your freak athletes that might break that, but an average life of a tight end, they start going down when they hit 30. The average. I'm not saying all of them.
Right,
Not
right.
saying that there's not any outliers. I'm saying like the average. So his suggestion was to get rid, get draft, start over. And I don't disagree with that because the 49ers are not looking good this year.
No.
Packers
McCaffrey-
don't look bad, but to beat them the way they did, that's a swoop.
Yeah. McCaffrey, they held him to 31 yards. Wow. That's very
I mean,
not
my
good.
thing is it's just time to start over, man. I mean, it's not a shot. Like why are fan bases so sensitive, man? If my Baltimore Ravens need to start over, I know that they're going to need to start over. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think we literally have like 2 years before we're going to have to be on that boat. We're going to have to start starting over. And it's
Vikings fan, bro.
Yeah,
I've been in that
like,
boat every
why-
other year for my whole
Why are people getting so upset?
So butthurt over it.
Kittle isn't doing bad though. Kittle's been consistent. I got him on my fantasy.
No.
He's been very consistent. He's still like he had 92 yards one game. He had 128 another game. I think the last game against Green Bay he had 82 yards. So he's not doing bad. But I get what you're saying. He's to his peak. He's at his
he's
peak.
getting to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
And-
I don't think that he's doing bad at all. I wasn't saying like he's declining and he's just, but statistically speaking, he's getting to the age where he's going to start. If he follows the trend, he could be, like I said, he could be that freak athlete that defies time and it does his thing. But when you look at it from like a GM perspective of coaching strategy and drafting and building a team, is it time to say, hey, I know you're good. Thank you for what you've done, but while you're still hot, let's get some drafts off of you.
That's what I'm saying, man. I think what you do is you sit here and you evaluate Christian. Hey, man, trade you for some picks. You evaluate Kittle, trade you for some picks. You evaluate Debo, trade you for some picks. You need a quarterback because it ain't Purdy.
Thank you. Can all three of us agree on that Brock Purdy is not the guy in San Francisco?
He's not, man. He's just not.
not.
And
I was never really
again,
sold
like
on
I don't understand
wasn't
why
either.
people die on hills with stuff. Like that's the hill you want to die on. That Brock Purdy is the guy.
He's the next Tom Brady just because he was the last draft pick in the draft? No.
He's done
Terrible
really
take.
well. He's done really well for being the last draft pick. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He's exceeded.
He's not elite.
Okay, he's exceeded his expectations. Let's just put it that way.
I'll give him credit for that, but he's nowhere near elite. He's nowhere near like a Lamar Jackson or a Josh Allen or Mahomes.
Mm-mm.
He's not. And he's not the franchise quarterback that the 49ers are going to have.
I mean, but I could see him potentially getting to that point because he hasn't played terrible. And who's he realistically throwing to over there right now? He's got a Debo that hasn't shown up. He doesn't have his Christian McCaffrey that he can check down to. Like he's had his boy Kittle. Don't get me wrong. He does have people to throw to, but
look, ever since they got McCaffrey, it's just been McCaffrey's been the face of their offense.
Yeah, I guess
it's kind of like the Eagles. Saquon's the face of their offense right now.
Yeah, right now, this regular season, Brock Purdy's 2,600 yards, 13 touchdowns, 8 interceptions with a QBR of a 67.
Not great of a QBR.
No.
Speaking of fantasy, Coach talked about fantasy. I want you to pull up this bullshit that Coach and I battled out this past weekend.
Hey.
That was some bullshit.
What you mean bullshit, bro? My team beat you
by 0.8. Oh my god, bro! I was hurting.
From the famous quote from Dominic Toretto, "Winning is winning."
Whether you win by an inch or a mile.
I lost in two. This league and another league, I lost by this league I lost by 0.8, another league I lost by 0.04.
So Brock Purdy's QBR isn't terrible because he's ranked number 5 right now.
Says a lot about quarterbacks in this season.
Patrick Mahomes underneath him, Jameis Winston, Jaden Daniels, and then we go all the way to the bottom with Deshaun Watson at 22. And Bryce Young at 35.8. Remember when I was called crazy for that?
Look at this shit.
Not even a full point, bro.
That's ridiculous. You know who killed me was fucking Kyron Williams. His bitch ass fumbled and
I had like 5 of my starters not playing. These are like my bench players, and I beat you. Grow up. You lost to my bench team.
Yeah, I dropped to second place because of it too.
Hey, you guys remember when I talked about Bryce Young and him being bad, and then I got yelled at for it? His QBR is that he's the only person worse than him right now is a Deshaun Watson that's not playing.
It's not even playing. Oh goodness
gracious! 32 out of the 33 quarterbacks on this list. FYI, there's only 32 teams.
Wait, so you're telling me that dumbass Cooper Rush is ahead of him in QBR?
Yeah.
Barely.
I don't even see him. Where is he? Maybe he's below him. Maybe
he might not.
Maybe he hasn't qualified yet.
I'm about to say he might have to play a certain amount of games.
That'll be fun when the Cowboys.
That would be like somebody coming in throwing 5 passes, getting 5 receptions, and that starter comes back in. You can't really use that. You know what I mean?
And this is sourced per ESPN, bitches.
One more thing on the 49ers. I know we're sources. Yeah. One more thing on the 49ers, and we'll move on. Do you think they missed out with Trey Lance? Because they were talking. I mean, he got drafted number 3 overall, and they were hyping him up like he was going to be this big thing. He played a season, and his season number 2, second game against the Seahawks, he tears his ACL in 2022. Falls off the face of the earth. Gets traded to Dallas last year as the emergency number 3 quarterback all season. Now he's the backup.
I just don't think he's that good because somebody would have played him. I think he's just. We asked some people before, and they said he looked terrible in the preseason for the Cowboys.
Do you think the ACL? Do you think his ACL tear kind of ruined his potential?
Because everybody everybody I mean, not everybody. I mean, it's not like they hand them out like it's candy, but people get ACL tears and come back. That's not a career-ending thing anymore. Not even close. It's almost like if you didn't get your ACL tear, it's like you're not. Are you really a football player? No, I'm just kidding. Hey, quick shout out to basketball, real quick. NBA, you got the Bulls winning over the Wizards. Wizards remain the shittiest team in the NBA, 127-108. Bucks beat the Heat in a nail biter, 106-103. Bucks continuing to climb back up that ladder.
And they had no Giannis. Yeah, no Giannis tonight, by the way.
Yeah, no Giannis. So interesting. Rockets are currently in a nail biter against the Timberwolves. That Rockets team that's up there in, I think, top 3. 95-94 with 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter, and the Spurs are currently losing to the Utah freaking Jazz 59-52 in the second quarter. That's it.
Yikes.
I think I want to talk about a not necessarily this week's Miami game, but I saw a funny video of our boy from the Miami Dolphins, the head coach over there. That dude is an absolute clown, man. When they played the Raiders, you want to play that clip?
Pretending like I'm going to change this call. Hey, I'm going to change this call. I'm not going to change the call.
Max Crosby.
Neutral zone infraction. Defense, number 98.
Hey, we didn't have a play called, Max. We didn't have a play called, Max. We didn't have a play called. LOL.
The man said LOL.
Love him or hate him, man. Dude's just a
fucking goober.
He's a freaking goober, dog. It's just. I mean, that was 2 weeks ago. I just saw that clip the other day, and I was like, "Yeah, we got to share that, man. That's fucking hilarious."
I don't know. I think he just fits that vibe down there in Miami.
Yeah, man. And but he's another coach, man, that cares about his team, cares about his players.
Yeah.
He's a great players coach. That's really it, man.
You know what? You know what I really question about him is he wears the same shit every game. When it's like 90 degrees in Miami, like week 1 or week 2, he'll be in sweatpants and gray sweatpants and a gray sweatshirt.
A hoodie.
Yeah, a hoodie. I got him all things. Like, oh my god, that fucker wears the same shit every game. Crazy.
Out of shit.
Yeah. One more team I just gotta give a shout out to, man, is the freaking Detroit Lions. The Detroit Lions. In the last 10 quarters, listen, it's 2.5 games, have only allowed 12 points. I
was surprised they didn't score more in the last game, but the defense still did their thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that Colts team isn't that great, so I was a little surprised they didn't beat them like they usually do, but it was still a BTA. It was still another belt to ass.
Yeah, absolutely.
That running back duo is
called Sonic and Blaze, right?
Is just something else. But Gibbs and David Montgomery and Amos and St. Brown all scored touchdowns in the same game for the Lions for the 8th time. That is the most instances of a trio of teammates doing that in NFL history. That is crazy. The things that this team is doing.
It's fun. It's just so, we talk about it every week. It's so fun watching this team.
It's fun to watch them.
It's fun to watch every week. Even even them beating the Cowboys back in week I think it was week 6. It was just fun.
That wasn't fun.
Matt, I don't remember you having fun that time.
I wasn't having fun, but like look back at it, just like it's
I'm about to say that now that you had time to reflect and calm down, you were not very happy about it.
I know I wasn't happy. But just just thinking about the other side.
They're just so fun to watch, man. I'm so excited for them.
I really hope
to the Colts, man. Uniform the unis were fire.
Edie, you want to pull up a picture real quick?
Got absolutely poopy whoopied on.
But I mean, it was nice to see a change for once, though. The white and the
I was about to say it's nice to see something.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Colts uniforms, I think, are one of the most boring uniforms in the NFL, and these are pretty fire for me. They got the black helmets with the blues going down and the white stripes. On the pants, I thought they looked pretty dope.
Woo! I love that my jersey that I'm wearing right now pops on your screen. Absolutely. Shout out to the Houston Texans as well. They drop a game to the Tennessee Titans. My goodness, where's Rig? What is going on with the Houston Texans, guys?
That's just wild, man.
I mean, they're almost like giving up the division to someone like the Colts. They've dropped to 7-5, and CJ Stroud just doesn't look comfortable in the pocket anymore. Even though Nico's back, Joe Mixon had an awful game. He had 22 yards rushing, 14 carries. Come on now.
Is it a conversation to be had that maybe they were a little overrated? I mean, I know they're missing their number one receiver and whatnot, but to just be missing essentially a guy and to be losing to the Tennessee Titans.
That's bad.
It's one of those situations where your roster's not telling the story. Because your roster was crazy coming into the season.
But you lose to a guy who's...
But that's the same thing we were just talking about. I mean, the Browns have had a solid roster for 3 years. They've only put, you know what I mean? It's sometimes it's not
It made one playoff game appearance.
Yeah. Sometimes it's not just about the roster that you have, the players that you have. It's more to it.
Right. Shout out to real quick, got to go over the Eagles game. Shout out to Saquon. I don't care. Jalen Hurts, you're I want to say you're riding the coattails a little bit of your boy Saquon right now. I want to see what happens.
Saquon is going the fuck off. That's crazy.
255 rushing yards, 2 touchdowns. Insane. I love it. I loved Saquon when he was back at Penn. Hey, there's something about that dude, and I talked about it. He caught a hot take on me last week. Them tree trunk legs, man. Them tree trunk legs, and they carry, bro.
No, it was just the fact that how you said. I was like, yeah, I gotta get him.
No, it's fine.
It's
cool with me. Man, hey, I'm so happy he's finally with a team that can block for him, and he can make some moves and build up what he needs to go. So shout out to Saquon Barkley, man. He is doing his
nice
thing.
to see,
AJ Brown is popping off again. It's good, man. They are definitely a team, may I say, that are contenders.
Hit it.
So, but yeah, that's all. Just real quick, we just wanted to go over that, and we'll get into pretenders and contenders.
Hey man, that's a good transition though.
All right, we can do it. Let's get it.
Yeah, real quick.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy, Coach Saul, here with his favorite segment, and clearly the Bills Mafia's favorite segment, Contenders or Pretenders.
I didn't even have a game this week.
Listen, y'all, I've never met a more butthurt fan base than that. It was a simple contenders or pretenders, or is your team at this point, is your team making it to the Super Bowl? Right? They start going, oh, well, the Vikings aren't. Oh, well, the Ravens aren't. Whoa, well, the Cowboys aren't. Well, we're not talking about either one of those teams. Right? We covered the Vikings. We will be covering the Ravens. We just happen to run along Bills Mafia. It's funny that Bills Mafia wanted to go crazy. He's a great playoff quarterback. Go ahead, spit the facts out, my boy.
This
you guys
man
want to
is
bring that up.
5-5 in the playoffs. So he's a flat 500.
Now,
granted, he has great stats outside of that. 2,723 yards. He's got 21 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. If you hear that, that sounds great. But guess what he's also got?
5 L's.
he can't. It'd be outside of the AFC Championship that he got beat. They win the first, losing the second. Win the first.
Oh, but what about you, Minnesota Vikings? We're not talking about
They're
the Vikings.
not gonna make it.
Coach Saul, you're not even a real coach. What about your Baltimore Ravens? You lost a.
We're not talking about the Ravens. We're talking about your mighty Bills. and
like
yes,
I said, they're going to the playoffs. Yes, they're probably going to win the division.
Yes, because they play a shit division.
Oh, don't say that. They're not an easy division. That's not an easy.
Ooh.
At the end of the day, they're going to be in the playoffs, but they're going to be sitting and watching the Super Bowl just like everybody else.
Amen.
Because they are great in the regular season, and they just don't have what it takes to get to the Super Bowl yet. Would I love to see it? Great. That's cool. As long as it's not the fucking Chiefs, I don't care who goes on that side.
I just want to know the delusion of that person, whoever it was, that made the comment that it wasn't an easy division.
The what, 7 paragraphs that they wrote? Was that someone else?
Ladies and gentlemen, there's this thing called the internet, and I've pulled it up right here. That way I can give you factual stuff. This is per NFL, if you're wondering, by the way. Per NFL. New England Patriots 3-9. New York Jets 3-8. The fucking Miami Dolphins 5-6. No, that's not an easy division. That's a very tough division. Those teams are all contending for the Super Bowl at this very moment as we speak. One team is over 500, and it is your Buffalo Bills. Where's the difficulty here? Where's the level of difficulty that we're talking about?
Exactly.
What?
Crazy. Only Buffalo Bill fans would say that.
Shout out to Buffalo Bills, man. We got 8 subscribers since that time because they said that we wouldn't get any more. But hey, we're growing. And if you're joining, and if let me, I want to make the disclaimer. And if you're in here and you're looking for the factuals and us breaking it down in slow-mo and looking at all this stuff, you got the wrong show, my friend. These are 3 guys that talk sports, right? We all guys that talk sports. We're like the guys that just sit there, coffee table, we're talking, and just, why don't we put it together? Because people will enjoy it. And there are people that enjoy it. Just because you guys don't like our take on it doesn't mean it's a bad show. But it is what it is, man. We love the hate. It is, it only
like
helps
I
us
said,
out.
baby. Thank you for the algorithm feeds, baby.
Yes, sir. Shout out Bills Mafia.
Keep commenting, baby. I can tell you this: we've gotten 3 new comments since we've been on this live,
Hey, there
and
you
we've
go.
gotten 2 new subscribers. So you're saying like, I can't believe you even have 142. That was yesterday. We had 154 right now, baby.
Oh, let's go.
That's 12 more. So I mean, we must
It's
not
just,
sheesh.
It to me, it's like, and if you want to discuss it and you want to debate it, jump on the show. That's all we ask, and we talk.
Right.
We talk about it.
We're happy to. We are happy to.
You could be in these comments. I could be showing your comments on the screen as long as.
Matter
it's
of
not
fact,
a
hey,
fucking
if it's really that serious one day, we'll put you on the episode, man. We'll put you on a special episode, Pretenders, and we'll revisit the Buffalo Bills for the 3rd time this year, just for you, because it's really not that serious. They're not going to go to win the Super Bowl. I mean, they're just not there yet. I mean, it's not a bad thing, man. It's just who we think is going to make the Super Bowl. Are we going to be right? Probably fucking not. Probably not.
And then we can apologize after that. But till then,
yeah. If y'all go to the Super Bowl and y'all win, I will come out and I will do a whole series of. I will apologize to you.
I will not.
All season.
And I will not, because I don't care.
Coach will not.
It is just my opinion, and it is my educated, uneducated guess, whatever you want to put it as.
Just make it spicy. I will apologize. I will do a whole fucking video where I will.
You know what you should do? You should say I'm sorry, and you should go break a table then after that. Jump on
Go jump through a table.
Hey, shout out Sarah in the chat, by the way. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. All right, let's get to our real contender versus pretender. We already started talking about it.
The Philadelphia Eagles, are they contenders or pretenders? What do you got, E?
We're talking Super Bowl, right?
Yes.
I have them as contenders for the Super Bowl. And I say that because now, granted, we know that people are going to say, well, they're riding the coattails of Barkley. Yes, but he's still part of the team. And eventually teams are going to start honing in on him. Then that's when everything else can open up. They have a lot of threats at the end of the day. Do I think that Hurts is playing his best ball? Absolutely not. But their defense isn't playing terrible. They're playing good football all the way around. I'm not going to go into too many specifics and in-depth deep dives and shit like that. I know that that's, well, he didn't really say that much. Well, I'm saying contenders based off what I've been seeing. They passed the eye test. If you asked me this 4 weeks ago, wasn't sold. But the way they're playing and the way they're progressively getting better every week, that's what I'm looking at. They're progressively getting better every week. Their defense is starting to stand up. Their offense is playing good. Unless something happens, Barkley is fucking going crazy right now. I don't see him slowing down at all. They're contenders.
Matty Ice.
And remember, we said this is unbiased. This is nothing that's to do with, me being a Dallas Cowboys fan. No bias, no nothing. I say pretenders. I will say pretenders because I disagree with what E said. I don't think their defense is going to bring them to the Super Bowl. I think that
I didn't say that.
Okay, but I'm just saying that their secondary is really not stellar. Their secondary is not that great. Yes, they just beat a LA Rams team that's struggling. They're going through their own struggles right now, but something about their defense is just not clicking with me right now. Yes, I will tip my hat and I will bow down to Saquon Barkley. He is a beast, and I would hate to chase him down or stand right in front of him. But he's really the only thing going for their offense right now. Hurts, not a great quarterback. AJ Brown, okay, yes, I think he's gotten his golden chance in Philadelphia, but that's about it. Devontae Smith, their second wide receiver, can't stay healthy, and it just kind of tapers off in terms of depth after that. Their O-line didn't look as great on Sunday against the Rams. With all that being said, I go pretenders.
You're forgetting about a key part of their offense as well. AJ Brown. He had 109 yards.
Yeah, I understand.
But
I understand. He had 6 catches and 109 yards.
I will step in. I don't think that their defense is going to win them a championship or get them to the Super Bowl. Their defense is good enough. Yeah, their defense is good enough that their offenses can outscore people. They don't have a shut them down defense that I think that's like something crazy. I was more or less saying that their defense is looking better than it did 4 weeks ago. So, I think that they have just good enough defense that they're going to be able to continue to outscore their opponents. And that's why I think that they're going to be contenders. I just didn't want people to think that, he said their defense is stout. No, their defense is the worst part of their game right now. But it's gotten better enough that I feel like it's going to be able to.
Well, I would even debate their O-line could be the worst part of their game too. Even though they've
How
had
do you
O-line is great.
What? Are you crazy?
Their offensive line has been. That's the reason why Barkley's doing what he's doing.
How do you think Barkley's getting 255 rushing yards in a game?
Line is doing great.
All right, never mind.
Okay, and then the take on Devontae Smith. They don't need Devontae Smith to be this amazing player. He needs to be the exact role player that he's playing right now. He's a great supplemental role player for the team, and he's been at every game. His only crapshoot game was against the Giants, where he got 2 total targets and 1 reception. Outside of that, he went to Cincy, 85 yards, Jacksonville, 87 yards. Dallas, he didn't have the greatest game. He had 14 yards, and then Washington, 29. But those are two divisional games, and against Washington, they didn't need nobody to throw the ball to other than AJ and Saquon stole the whole show. So in my opinion, they passed like they said, they passed that eye test, man. They look good. They're playing really good ball right now, and they're on a nice little streak. Saquon Barkley is running the lights out. I'm not going to say Jalen Hurts is a terrible quarterback. He's playing good ball. Like he's playing the supplemental role, man. He had 179 yards, 1 touchdown against the Rams. Not for nothing, and not a bad Rams team. And
the thing you have to think about too, though, is with the running game running as good as they do, why would they risk throwing it in the air? They don't have to right now.
Right.
The more you can keep that ball on the ground into your running back's hands and still be able to win games, why take a chance of throwing it up so you can get tipped and get a big interception, pick 6, and change the momentum of the game?
Yeah.
Right now, they don't have to.
You had Jalen Hurts against the Commanders game, a divisional game. He went 18 for 28, 221 yards, no touchdowns. But again, you didn't need it because Saquon's doing it for you. Against your Cowboys, 200 yards rush passing, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. It's not these crazy great stats, but you got a lot of supplemental shit going on that you don't need to. So I think with what they have going on, I really like what I see. There's 2 teams at the NFC that I can legitimately say are contenders, and this is one of those teams.
We know what the other one is too. Without even
we already
saying
know. Yeah, we already know.
We already know. That's going to be a anonymous. You know what I
And
mean?
that's why I say that they're pretenders, because they're never going to get past the Detroit Lions.
I wouldn't say that though. I wouldn't say that because you're saying this isn't biased, but your bias is showing because
it's not. But
because the Lions, although they play great ball, they've shown their sides of weakness, and we'll go over that once it's their turn. But I think it's going to be a lot closer than what anybody thinks it would be. The Lions are beating teams that need to get their butts whooped, right? The BTAs are happening to struggling teams, the Colts, the Jaguars, the Cowboys. Cowboys aren't good this year. The Titans, they're not good this year, right? But then when they play a little bit of a tougher opponent, it's a lot tighter than what you think. That Texans game was very tight, 26-23, right?
Think about the game with us.
The game with them, very tight.
Aaron Jones, that hasn't had a very productive year except for this last game in running. He had 93 rushing yards against the Lions. Imagine what a Barkley could do with that.
Right.
They haven't seen a Barkley yet.
But besides the Aaron Jones game, have they been able to shut down the run every other game?
My thing is, like I said, I was talking about more of the caliber of running back. They haven't seen a Barkley style caliber yet. And Aaron Jones did what he did, and he's not at his prime or peak anymore. So I don't know, man.
I mean, Joe Mixon, you could debate. Held him 46 yards.
But he's had an up and down year, though.
Yeah, definitely. I'm just throwing people out there.
No, I get you 100%.
Kenneth Walker, only 80 yards.
Hey, real quick, it's overtime with the Rockets Timberwolves with 1 minute and 52 seconds left. Rockets are currently leading 109-105. Spurs are up 69-66, and the Lakers and Suns are tied up 21.
All right. You want to hit the skull chant?
Yes, sir.
All right, skull chant. What a game we had at Soldier Field on Sunday. I'll let you get into it. Bears squeaked by in overtime with the final score of 30-27 after
Vikings squeaked by.
Vikings squeaked by. Excuse me. What did I say?
Bears squeaked by.
Excuse me. Vikings squeaked
That's
by.
why that's why he looked like he's about to jump to the
Jump to the camera.
What?
Vikings squeaked by a score of 30-27 after the Bears had a really interesting end to the fourth quarter, some might say. I'll let you take it away.
You know, before I get into the Vikings, the one thing I do say about the Bears, since their offensive coordinator change, I feel like he's playing into Caleb Williams' game. He's finding a way to use his talents, not forcing Caleb to be what he wants him to be, but playing to his strength. Quicker passes, getting the ball out, getting them moving, because obviously that pocket doesn't stay good forever. He had 340 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. That's not a bad game for a rookie quarterback. Actually, if you look at it, he had 10 more yards than Darnold did. Now, granted, the percentages were better. I mean, but he didn't have a bad game at all. Obviously, he found a way to utilize DJ Moore, utilize Keenan Allen. They both had good games. Komet didn't have a bad game. So, I mean, the Bears didn't look bad. That kind of showed what their potential is. And as they continue to build with this new offensive coordinator, they're not going to be a team that doesn't get pushed around anymore. I don't feel like they've always had the good defense, and now they have an offense that's starting to click. So I mean, that's just my hats off to the Bears. I mean, they played a good game. Finally, we got back into putting the ball in the air pretty decent. Like I said, Darnold had 330 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. So we went no interceptions for an entire game on both sides. That's pretty interesting stat to see. Aaron Jones finally came out, showed us that he can still run the ball good, 106 yards. Granted, one of them was a 41, long yard rush. So I mean, that was good to see him be able to break that. I did see he kind of slowed down towards the end. So I don't know if it was, just conditioning, age, whatever, getting to him, but he did. I thought he could have had another little burst. He might have been able to take that to the house. He did kind of slow down towards the end of that long run. The one good thing I can say is JJ was almost non-existent in this game, only 27 yards, but Addison came out with 162 yards, 8 receptions.
That shit had me sick.
Long.
That shit had me sick. I benched him in a couple of my leagues.
No, don't get me started. I forgot to look at my fantasy. In the one league that I'm in, I had 5 players on the bench for my starting lineup. Addison's on my bench. So I could and I fucking missed it. And I had to switch out for players that hadn't started playing yet. And I didn't have hardly anybody. I still ended up winning that game. I don't know how. But
What, in our league or in another league?
no, it was a different league. And the thing is, like I said, Addison popped the fuck off and would have had damn near won the game for me. But it was good to see Hockenson back, being healthy, producing 114 yards, 7 receptions. So it goes to show that when teams double and triple team JJ to try to take him out of the game, those other weapons that I've been preaching about the last couple of weeks, we're finally showing that we can use them. Finally showing that we can utilize the Hockenson, the Addison, and Aaron Jones even had the 23 yards in the reception. But we don't need to focus all energy on JJ. That was beautiful for me to see. Defense has been playing stout. Obviously, did they put 27 up on us? Yes, but at the same time, our defense is coming away with key plays when we need it. That's kind of been the go-to story this year. Our defense has been playing great. That was one thing people have been comparing this season to 2022 season when we had the start that we had, and they were like, well, at that time they had a bottom defense. This year they have the top 5. They've been saying that this year it's a little bit different because we have a better defense. But no, I mean, this is one of the games that I finally saw some fight again in my team. The last couple of weeks, ever since we lost to the Lions, I've been kind of seeing it's do that little downhill slope I've been talking about. I feel like this is the first week that we're starting to have that. Are we there yet? No, but we're starting to fight back uphill. So I like what I saw. I think it's going to be an interesting rest of the year, especially when we hit this NFC North gauntlet. It's going to be fucking crazy. You talk about some good football at the end of this. Our division
I'm
matchup
excited.
is going to be crazy to watch. There's not one team that's going to be a pushover. Because even the Packers, I mean, Packers are doing good. The Bears are starting to show some teeth. Lions are obviously the Lions.
You know what I want to do? I think is it next Thursday? Next Thursday. That's you got the. I think it's Packers and the Lions Thursday night. I want to do a watch show for that. We have to. We have to do watch.
Do that.
We have to do a watch show for that
We
one.
Definitely need to do that.
Absolutely.
And I can't wait to watch my division just battle it out these last couple of weeks when it gets down time for that. It's gonna be fucking beautiful. And it's funny. One other thing before I let y'all go, I know this is a longer scope than usual. I was talking to somebody at work today, and he brought up that maybe the Lions game won't be as crazy because maybe they're gonna know that they're gonna make it. They're gonna sit players, but if our division starts winning out, they're gonna have to have that game because say we happen to win out. Not saying it's gonna happen, but if we did, and the Lions win out or lose one, they lose one, we're gonna be tied.
They ain't gonna send nobody for a division game. You can't. Not in that division. Those top three teams are just too crazy right now.
What I'm saying, if we stay this close, they have no choice but to play. And even if they went out, we went out, we play them, then we're tied. So it's gonna be a very interesting rest of the year. I can't wait to watch. It'll be some great football being played.
Absolutely.
That's all I got.
Good take.
All right. Hit that Cowboy Nation.
Yes, sir. Cowboys.
Oh my goodness! You know what? This past weekend, I'm speechless right now. I forgot what it was like to be happy and see this team win. Yes, I told you all over the weekend. It was such a great feeling. It was an ugly game. Don't get me wrong. I'll put my heart up to that. But I mean, NFC East football is just so exciting to watch. The first 3 quarters maybe not, but that fourth quarter was just ridiculous. Oh my goodness. Dallas Cowboys come on top with the win, 34-26. Commanders, what happened? What happened? This was supposed to be a nice walk in the park, easy win against the Dallas Cowboys, but no. Y'all got stomped, bro. Come at me, Commander fans. Redskins fans. They're always going to be Redskin fans, no matter what you say. Jane Daniels didn't look like himself on Sunday. He really just, I don't know something's not right with him right now, and I hope they are able to fix it soon because they're not. I mean, as of Sunday, they're not looking too great. I know Coach is holding. He's got the gas pedal going over there in neutral. But I'll tell you what. Before I go into my team, I tell you one player I have respect for on Washington. That's Frankie Louvu. That motherfucker is scary. He's going to be a great player down the wire, and I think he's
Daniels.
No, I'm just saying one player that stood out on Sunday.
Jaden Daniels. How many times has Jaden Daniels? Obviously, he's the number one passer on the team because he's the only passer.
Oh, yeah.
But he's also the number one rusher again. 7 carries, 74 yards, and 1 touchdown, leading his team. Like, to me, that's just insane. I mean, the kid's got to do literally everything. So it's
carrying the team on his shoulders.
Yeah.
But on the defensive side, I'm just saying, Frankie Louvu, he's going to be a good asset for the Washington defense down the road. Oh my God. Special teams on both sides of the football were god awful. I mean, atrocious. However else you want to describe special teams. Brandon Aubrey misses 2 field goals. Austin Seibert misses the game-tying extra point after Terry McLaurin goes for 80 yards. I mean, my goodness. And all these penalties on special teams. You had some terrible punts. just everything known to mankind happened on special teams, and honestly, that was that was ultimately the game changer this past weekend. But you always there are some positives to take out for the Cowboys. Cooper Rush, although I'm still not convinced that he's a solid quarterback, he's going to be, he's will always be a backup. 24 for 32, 247 yards, 2 touchdowns. Okay, not terrible. Rico Dowell still looks to he's still building off of every game. He had 19 carries, 86 yards. Still didn't find the end zone. But let me tell you, my boy Kevontae Turpin, you can roll the tape.
Line drive to Turpin, and it bounces through his legs. Here he comes. Kevontae Turpin spinning 3. Here he goes. Fastest man in the NFL. Kevontae Turpin takes it all the way. Touchdown, Dallas.
I mean, that mofo is insane. He made that defender. He broke that defender's ankles. Like, that was just it made me so happy to see a kickoff.
What's so crazy is the explosive speed, and he's a fucking stick figure. That man is skinny as fuck. He's fast as shit. Like, usually you see like explosive legs.
Yes.
They have fucking you could tell that this man's like fucking running with little goddamn twigs, his legs, and that man's fast as shit.
Absolutely. You know what I would really pay to see is a 40-yard dash between him and Derrick Henry. That would be a good race. Eh, shit. You know what? Fuck it. Throw Saquon in there as well. That would be a hell of a race. But I honestly, ultimately, I think this is kind of a stick a middle finger up at Dan Quinn game. Washington had every sign to win this game. They had every opportunity to win this game, but they somehow figured out a way to lose it. And it just makes me happy as a Dallas Cowboys fan and a Washington Redskins hater for life to come out with the dub this weekend. Even though it's still a lost season, but we take one game at a time. So there's your Cowboys Nation chat of the week.
Let me talk.
Oh, we got to
talk about Jerry Jones.
Oh my God! Roll the clip.
Now, granted, it's a 10-minute segment all about Jerry Jones, but I did some chopping up and made it shorter.
Sure.
But this took keys. I just want you to talk about it after you watch it.
Yeah. No.
Mike McCarthy is an outstanding coach. I was listening to the game last night, watching it, and Aikman was talking about it, and he's reiterated that several times publicly. This Super Bowl winning coach. And Mike McCarthy has been there, done that. He's got great ideas. So bottom line is that in no place in my body language or anything else have you seen indications about what we're going to be doing relative to this staff at the end of this year.
Okay, breaking news. Jerry found a mic. Dominique Fox for this year, and Stephen A. is frustrated, upset. I don't know.
Get your man, Stephen A.
For you, Stephen A.
There's no reason on God's green earth today, this season, to be talking about your coach as if he should feel secure with his future, considering how your team has looked. There is no excuse for it. In other words, don't spit in our face and tell us it's raining. I get it loud and clear. You know, Dom, you're a relatively stubborn dude. I suspect that when your wife talks to you, you listen. You understand? Happy life, happy wife, happy life. Shannon, I know how strong-willed you are, but you know what? When that brother Sterling roll up on you, the ears perk up. You go stand at attention. You go listen. You might push back, but damn it, Sterling got some influence. We all have people in our lives that find a way to influence us in ways no one else can. How come none of us can figure out who the hell is that for Jerry Jones? I don't get it. Is it Steven? Is it one of the grandchildren? Is it the wife? Somebody.
None of us are billionaires.
All we're at this point right now, do you realize how bad the Dallas Cowboys have regressed? we have reached a point where all we're asking for is for somebody to keep him away from the media, from the camera, or from the microphone. That's it. That's how bad it's got. We ain't even get to their play. We've gotten to a point where we say, will somebody grab Jerry and prevent him from giving these damn asinine quotes to the public? That is
He said, can somebody just be the one to influence him to stay away from the media? just keep this man away from the media. It just, when I watched that, I was fucking dying at my desk at work. Why? Like, this man literally just talked about how the coach is a genius and how, like, he has no threat of his job, and they're talking about potentially extending him. What? Oh, man.
As much as I hate Stephen A, I agree with him. I have to agree with him on this.
Dude, I usually don't like his takes, but that shit had me dying, bro.
I mean, Jerry is really he's basically just earning himself in a place in the media, making himself a fucking clown. That's really all he's doing. There is no reason whatsoever that Mike McCarthy should still be the coach of his football team after the season ends. Zero reason why. I don't care if he's been to one Super Bowl. And yet that makes him a Super Bowl winning coach?
This
Are you
man
kidding
had
me?
2 top 10 quarterbacks, and he only went to the Super Bowl fucking once.
Pathetic. One time. Once.
He won, don't get me wrong, but
Yeah, he won. Great, good on him. At least he could leave that on his resume. You know what else he could put on his resume? Former coach of the Dallas Cowboys. He's gone after this season. And if he's not, then it's going to be a real clusterfuck in Dallas. I swear, Jerry just likes to make himself a clown on public media.
That's
the reason why I did it.
When Stephen A was just like, everybody has somebody in their life that they listen to that talks them out. Like, who is that person for Jerry Jones? Is his grandson? Is his grandkid? Who is it? Because somebody needs to keep him away from the media. When he said that, I just fucking laughed. I couldn't help it. I had to clip it.
Yeah. So, all right. What we got left? The Ravens flock.
Yes, sir.
yes, sir. Ravens flock, man. Let's go, man. What a win. What a win we needed to against a very good Chargers team. Listen, the Chargers have been a team that nobody's been talking about, and they were actually going to be one of my pretenders or contenders a few weeks ago, but I was like, let's see what happens. Still could possibly use them, but man, a good Chargers team, a Chargers team that went in ranked 10 in the run defense, which out of 32 teams is pretty freaking good. But let me tell you something, that foundation of being ranked number 10 fell apart very quickly when King Henry stepped on the freaking field, and he had like a 19-yard gain, then he had a 14-yard gain, and he had an 11-yard gain, all in the first drive for a touchdown. Made it look like it was a joke. He stiff-armed 2 defenders. I mean, it was just like it was Derrick Henry ball, man. Like it was awesome. I mean, it's just so much fun to watch this big behemoth of a guy come in and play and just do what he does at the age that he does too, because running backs don't have a very long lifespan in the NFL. And at one point they were almost like, oh, they're not that important, we can just find they're a dime a dozen. So King Henry is telling everybody, we're not a dime a dozen. This is why you keep somebody like me. This is why you bring somebody like me. Same thing for Saquon Barkley. Both those men deserve a massive, massive shout out. 17 points.
I just realized he didn't score a touchdown. This is the first game of the season he didn't score a touchdown. I didn't realize that just now. Henry.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
It's the first game because he's been getting 1 to 2 touchdowns a game every game this season.
I think he had a streak going, right?
Yeah, he did. 17.4 million people watched the Ravens Baltimore game.
Wow.
The Harbaugh Bowl. And John remains undefeated against his brother.
3-0.
Which is a beautiful thing, baby, because hey, I got the good brother. Not saying anything about the other one, but hey, we were up. It was actually an interesting game because this is a game where J.K. Dobbins gets his get back at us, gets a chance to get his get back at us, and J.K. Dobbins left us, man, because he was just injury prone, man. He was always getting hurt. Like we just not that he was bad or anything. And he started off the game pretty good. He had 6 carries for 40 yards, which isn't too bad. But after a few snaps, guess what happens? Blows out his knee, and he's off the field. Reason why we got rid of him. I mean, incidents happen. I get it. It's just, but man, what Lamar Jackson, when he ran that ball and he hit the brakes and he had the defender fly around him and the defender grabs his hip and twists him in, that reminded me of the clip. And I was trying to find the clip and I just couldn't. It reminded me of the clip when he was in high school. And that's where I fell in love with Lamar Jackson. That high school clip where he's running to the end zone and he hits the brakes and the defender flies in front of him and then he just walks right into the end zone. Beautiful. Just beautiful. When we're on, man, but we are struggling, and it is very hard for me to sit here on my throne and say that we are contenders all the way. We've looked pretty bad this year at some points. Our highs are high, but our lows are very low. This was a Chargers, and this is something that nobody wants to talk about. This is the Chargers' chance to prove, like, hey, we deserve to be talked about here. We deserve to be in contention. Like they have a not good schedule, but they were 7-3 coming into this game. Herbert goes 21 for 36, 218 yards. My boy Lamar Jackson goes 16 for 22, 177 yards, 2 touchdowns. Derrick Henry carries the rock 24 times for 140 yards. As far as consistency, man, he's just very consistent. He does what he needs to do. We're doing what we need to do. I am intrigued, man, because here we go. We're starting to get towards the end of the schedule. We're starting to get towards the end of the season. We have a very, very tough game coming up against the Eagles. This is going to be a
huge game.
A huge game on Sunday. Don't know why it's not prime time in any shape, way, or form. Doesn't make any freaking sense. It's a 4:00 game. Why isn't it moved to anything else? I just don't understand it. It is the freaking Eagles and the Ravens, 2 top-tier teams, 2 top-tier running backs to go at it.
That's going to be a hell of a fucking battle, man.
Absolutely.
It's going to be an amazing battle. I cannot wait to watch it. The nice Batman got a nice little catch, that nice little 40-yard drop in the end zone. I mean, who else is making that throw, man? That drop was where it needed to be, how it needed to be. It just needed to be the receiver to catch it, and he caught it. Dude, when I saw who was getting the ball, it was like in slow-mo for me. When I saw when the ball was going, I was like, oh, this bitch is dropping it. Nah, he reeled it in, dog, and he got the tutty, so I'm happy. Great
That was
battle,
clean.
man. It was so clean. So clean. It was a great play.
Coach, I want to ask you, there was a lot of penalties called in the Ravens last night. There's a lot of questionable calls.
I think we are the #1 most penalized team in the NFL.
Yeah. But there was a couple.
You talked about in the last Ravens vlog about how that's one of the downfalls of your team right now.
Mm-hmm. If we don't clean this up whether or not at this point, at this point, I've just accepted reality, and the referees are the referees, right? Some of them good, some of them bad, some good calls, some bad calls. It is what it is. But at the end of the day, if we cannot clean this up, we're not winning. I'm going to be frank. We will not be contenders. We will be pretenders. And I don't understand why that's not a focal point right now. And I feel like it hasn't been because we keep making the same mistakes over and over and over again. So, yeah, that's just my take on that. I don't know if that answered your question, but.
Yeah, definitely. There was just a lot. Every time they were penalties call, I was thinking, "Oh, coach is probably going nuts right now."
I was, man. This was a pivotal game for us, for both teams. So it's
100%.
not like this was. It's.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say because it's not like it. Like if we lose this game, we're in serious trouble, right? And the Chargers needed to win this game to prove, hey, we are who we are. And they played a hell of a game. It was still close. I mean, it was still a good game. Like it was a great game. Chargers unis, loved them, by the way.
Yeah.
I love the blues.
I like that. Yeah, the blues. The navy blue.
Yeah, love the blues. I hate the baby powder shit. Those dark blues are awesome.
So they're old jersey when they're back in San Diego.
Mm-hmm. So it's gonna be. It was a very, very meaningful game for both teams. And then this next one going up against the Eagles is not a meaningful game for us. And the problem that I'm going to have is if we come out on top, it's going to be people who are like, oh, well, the Eagles aren't as good as we thought. Oh, Jalen Hurts isn't as good as he is. Or da-da-da-da. No, that team is very dangerous. That team is very strong. And it's one of the reasons why they're one of the top 5 teams in the NFL right now. So I'm excited for it. I can't wait.
Oh, yeah, definitely. That's going to be definitely a game to watch coming up on Sunday. I mean, look at the Eagles too. They still have to play you guys, and they have to play the Steelers as well.
Yeah.
So 2 tough within the next 3 weeks. So that's two tough games for the Eagles coming up.
Oh, I mean, our schedule is very, very difficult. We have one layup game, and it's against the Giants. But we go Eagles, Giants, Steelers, Texans, and then the Browns.
Crazy. So it'll be a good stretch coming down the wire for the Ravens.
Yeah, we have to play top tier football. I mean, I would say we have 2 kind of easy games, maybe the Giants, maybe the Texans, just because the Texans haven't been playing that great of football. As of recent, they've been struggling. But Browns, they're playing really great football in our division. They're making everybody in our division like, hey, respect us. And they're playing like the team we kind of all thought they should have been, the team they should have picked up from last year. So it's honestly, it's no surprise to me that the Browns are doing what they're doing, because it's still a pretty good team from last year. It's just they had a crappy quarterback. I don't know. Maybe Deshaun Watson isn't him.
I don't know. Time will tell.
But yeah, that's it. That's it for my Ravens flock. Appreciate y'all. Ravens flock, we out.
Let's wrap it up, guys.
Getting to your prime times.
Yes, sir. All right. By the way, if you are still hanging out with us on your Tuesday evening, we appreciate you hanging out. We're going on 3 hours now. We're trying to keep it as short as possible. But hey, we got a lot to cover each and every episode. So we appreciate you hanging out. Absolutely.
The only way it would happen is if we did multiple shows a week. There's no way
which we don't have time for. None of us have time for.
Time for it.
Absolutely. But nonetheless, make sure you're hitting that like button. Make sure you're hitting the follow button. Make sure you're following all of our social media platforms. We're on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and coming soon, we'll be going live on TikTok. We're getting that in the works here. Just a reminder, next Wednesday, we'll be going live instead of Tuesday. We're normally here on Tuesdays, but we will be going live next Wednesday starting at 7 p.m. Eastern time. Make sure you're in here. And we got a lot to talk. We have a lot to talk about, especially coming down the wire. All right. I don't know, guys. I really don't want. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't want to pick the Thursday game, the Thanksgiving games, because they're all pretty much ass. So can we all vote to skip over those?
Nah, man, it's prime time. Let's get it.
All right, say less. Thursday, first Thanksgiving game. We got the Chicago Bears visiting the Detroit Lions. I think it's a pretty easy one for all of us. Lions. All right. Easy enough. Moving on to the 4:30 game. We got the Giants visiting the Cowboys.
Hold on a second.
Got the Giants visiting the Cowboys. They got to think about this. E, whenever you're ready.
Man. Whew. I mean, the Cowboys.
You wanted to say Giants. How about Coach?
No, I really don't. I just wanted to give you a hard time.
Oh, okay. Coach.
Let's skip me for a second. Hold on.
Pick, damn it.
All right, I guess I'll go Cowboys. Look at that nod of approval. Yeah, you better. Yeah.
Like I said before, I never pick against my team. Cowboys win. All right. And the nightcap, we got the Miami Dolphins visiting the Green Bay Packers.
Green Bay.
Easy enough, Coach. E?
I'm going to go Green Bay. Green Bay's been looking good. I think that Dolphins, I'm not sold on the Dolphins right now. Green Bay, the one thing that worries me is Love throwing his interceptions. He's interception prone this year, but I'm gonna go Packers still.
As much as I want to pick the Dolphins, they don't play good in cold weather. I'll go Packers at home.
Yay, we're all gonna go get 3 wins here.
All right, and we'll make it 4 wins because on Friday,
the way our primetime picks are going, we'll fuck around and give it 0 for 3.
I know, right? Let's see. We'll probably make it 4-0 because on Black Friday we have the Las Vegas Raiders at 2-9 visiting our favorite and everyone's favorite Kansas City Chiefs 10-1. Can we all say it together? 1, 2, 3. Chiefs.
Raiders.
You're crazy. Coach is actually going with the Raiders, huh?
No, I'm going Chiefs. I'm going Chiefs.
Chiefs. Easy enough. Sunday night. All right, skipping to Sunday night. Early in the season, you would have thought this would have been a more better game, but it's really not. So we got the 49ers visiting the Buffalo Bills Sunday night.
Bills.
Yeah, Bills Mafia, we picking you this time, baby. Let's go, Bills. Contenders. For that game.
Oh my God, we're getting canceled, bro. Nah, I go Bills here. Bills play too good at home. 49ers just aren't a good team right now.
I'm gonna tell you something. If they lose, I'm gonna tell you something. If they lose, I'm coming at them, Bill Mafia people, all day.
True. All right, and Monday night we got the Cleveland Browns coming off a win against the Steelers, visiting the Denver Broncos, playing hot ball right now. E?
That's actually not a Not a bad one.
Not a horrible game.
Come back to me. Let me think.
All right, Coach.
I'm gonna go with the Browns.
Ooh,
I'm
okay.
gonna go with the Browns. I'll take it now. I want to. Jameis Winston's got my heart, man. So I'm gonna go on Browns.
I will go Broncos. Their defense is pretty stellar right now, and Bo Nix he's playing lights. I wouldn't say he's playing lights out, but he's playing good. He's playing good ball for a rookie. Their running game sucks, so thank God that he's been a great passer overall. But as much as I want to pick the Browns, I'm going to go with Broncos for this game.
I mean, the Broncos are the safe pick. I'm going with the upset.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, that is a safe pick, but I'm with Coach. I want to see Winston win.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
It's just you want to see him win, man, when he's underneath that center.
And no disrespect at all to Jameis Winston. He is as we mentioned when we first started in our NFL talk this evening. Great guy, hands down. Just a great product of the league.
It's just like I said. I mean, do I think the Broncos are going to win? Probably.
Yeah,
they have
the Broncos
they have
probably
the better
win, sure, but
they have the better defense. The offenses are pretty equal. So if you got to go, I think the Broncos are going to stop the Browns more than vice versa, probably. But I just want to see the Browns win. So I'm picking heart. It's not even picking off of football facts at this point. I just want to see the Browns.
I agree. I concur.
All right.
Matty will win out this week.
He'll be like, "Oh, they went out this week," and we're gonna be like, "Yeah, you picked the safe pick."
You call me a bitch then?
He's not calling you that. I mean, that's a lot.
All right, boys. Well, great episode. It's always a pleasure getting together every Tuesday night.
Absolutely, y'all. We appreciate everybody being here. Happy early Thanksgiving. Have a safe Thanksgiving.
Absolutely. We're thankful for you guys, by the way. We're thankful for all of you in the community who hanging out with us all throughout our 3-hour-long show. But you know what? It's a lot of good information we go over. So we hope you enjoyed as well. Make sure you're hitting that like and follow button. Make sure you're subscribing all of our channels. And just a reminder, next Wednesday, we're going live next Wednesday instead of next Tuesday, 7 p.m. this time. That way we can fit all of our information in.
And again, ladies and gentlemen, disclaimer. This is not some show that you're going to go. If you want to go watch them spit nothing but facts and talk about this and that, there's 1,000 other shows out there like that. This is just a couple of dudes that are just sitting around, man, and just BSing and talking with y'all. And if you don't like it, you don't like it. Come on the show and talk to us. And if you like it, give us a like, give us a share, give us a follow, man, and stay tuned and just keep watching everything we do, man. We greatly appreciate the support. Continue to grow. We'll continue to get better. We're trying to bring people in, like we bring in Damien for the basketball segment. We'll try and bring people in for all segments. And, if you want
Look
to
up a couple things real quick.
Just if you want to spot on the NFL segment, just let us know, man. We have no problem bringing in the community and just having a good time. So that's a quick disclaimer. Anyways, y'all be safe.
Be thankful. Happy Thanksgiving, guys. Be safe. Eat a lot of food.